everybody. Roseburg football is on the air. It's a brand new year, a new era, and a new coach. Tune in Friday nights all season long as the Roseburg Indians take to the gridiron for some hard-hitting high school football action in year number 1 under head coach Matt Watson. Live video broadcast today sponsored by the Cow Creek Tribe. Audio also available on the Score 92.3 FM and 1490 AM. Now let's head to the field. Here's Joey Kieran and Knight Ureski.
Welcome to Finlay Field as tonight we get ready for Roseburg High School football here on the Score. It's our Roseburg Disposal pregame show. Welcome in to the broadcast here tonight. High atop at Finlay Field, I'm Joey Kieran along with Knight Ureski. This is Roseburg football. As we get ready for tonight, we welcome you into our broadcast as the Roseburg Indians welcome in the Churchill Lancers for tonight's battle. It's the start of league play as Roseburg begins play in a new league after their move to the 5A classification. Looking forward to seeing how this one plays out. Roseburg coming in at 1-0 on the year. The Lancers 1-1 on the season and 1-0 in league play. Joining me here in the booth tonight during the Roseburg Disposal pregame show is Knight Ureski. Knight, last week we got treated to a fun one. Roseburg comes out and wins 41-7 on top of Gresham in their only non-league game of the season. And now the team looks to try and build some momentum as they get ready for league play.
No doubt, and they're looking to build that momentum here today against Churchill. It's a new year and a new conference for Roseburg. They're dropping down to the 5A for this season, and they get a good start to this season in the 5A and a good test in Churchill coming in here today. Churchill 1-1 so far this season, lost an opening game against Marist, but this is a good Churchill team that just won 44-13 against Springfield last week. So they've already played a league game. They know what it's like to play in this league, and Roseburg, they get their first shot here today against Churchill. Churchill, a team that runs a lot. We saw it last week, over 350 yards of total rushing for Churchill. And these are two teams that look to establish the run game, and we should have ourselves a treat in the trenches.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun one to see how this one plays out here tonight. Roseburg trying to make a statement as they look to be near the top of the pecking order in their new league. It's the 5A Special District number 4. No flashy name for it. Used to be the Midwestern League, but with the addition of some 6A schools, they just call it the Special District number 4. We get ready for the start of league play here tonight. Coming up in just a moment, we've got our Evergreen Family Medicine pregame coaches interview with head coach Matt Watson. Expect the unexpected at Evergreen Family Medicine, serving Roseburg, Myrtle Creek, and Sutherland. Evergreen offers more than traditional primary care. You can always expect more from Evergreen. So stick around. We've got that coming up next. And want to remind everybody that tonight's game is streaming live with video online at 541radio.com and on our YouTube channel. Search 1490 The Score on YouTube. You'll find us broadcasting there. Hit the subscribe button to make sure you don't miss our next broadcast of Roseburg High School sports. Coach Matt Watson joins us as we come back for more of the Roseburg Disposal pregame show here on 541radio.com and on The Score 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
Hey there, sports fans. Thanks for watching this local sporting event online at 541radio.com. Did you know there's more than one way to watch games online? You can watch games on your laptop or desktop computer, your tablet, or even your smartphone just by going to 541radio.com. But we also use YouTube to stream all of our video broadcasts, which means you could be watching this game on your big screen TV with a number of different streaming devices. You can stream our live YouTube broadcast through your PlayStation or Xbox gaming device, or through streaming devices like Google Chromecast, Apple TV, or Roku. There's plenty of ways to follow this live local sporting event. Plus, you can find past events archived on 1490 The Score's YouTube channel. Find us on YouTube and subscribe today to keep up with the latest in local sports coverage.
For over 100 years, Douglas County Farmers Co-op has been serving the needs of farmers, ranchers, and homeowners throughout Southern Oregon. Here, everyone is welcome. When you shop with us, you can expect good people, good products, and good advice. No membership needed. Just bring yourself, and we'll provide the expertise and products you need to tackle your next project. Douglas County Farmers Co-op, where everyone is welcome to shop.
When the first Cascade branch opened in 1948, things were a lot different here. The fact they're still here says a lot about the way they do business.
Staying in business for 75 years requires the cooperation of generations. It's the desire to learn and grow with your community.
My account number is only 5 digits long. What that tells me is that this is a local credit union.
Cascade Community Credit Union would like to thank you for 75 years of growth and support here in Douglas County.
That was head coach Matt Watson, as we get a chance to get the coach's pregame interview brought to you by Evergreen Family Medicine. Expect the unexpected at Evergreen Family Medicine, serving Roseburg, Myrtle Creek, and Sutherland. Evergreen offers more than traditional primary care. You can always expect more from Evergreen. We take a time out for the national anthem, come back with a look at our keys to the game here on 541radio.com and on the score at 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
Brook Communications radio stations have joined forces with the News Review and Lotus Web Services, announcing the Lotus Media Group, a multimedia enterprise. Web, broadcast, print. Make it happen with Lotus Media Group, LLC.com.
Whether it's across town or across the state, moving is always a chore. So let BTB Moving help with your next move. BTB Moving is a labor-only company offering statewide services such as packing and unpacking, loading and unloading, piano moving, cleaning services, and 24-hour emergency services. BTB Moving is an affordable, veteran-owned company here to help with your next move. Call 541-315-0122 or find BTB Moving on Facebook. That's BTB Moving for all your moving needs.
Are you an enthusiastic sports fan? Want to have fun and get in on the action?
Heck, yes, that'd be awesome.
Have great attention to detail? Want to stay active?
Definitely.
Want to give back to the student athletes in your community?
Obviously, yes.
Then you'd make an excellent high school sports official. We need more officials in Oregon, because with no high school officials, there are no high school sports. Sign up today at highschoolofficials.com.
Back. Another fantastic performance from the Roseburg High School marching band in all their regalia here tonight. It looks like they've got the full-on crew here this evening. The band leader, Brandon Hansen, what a performance they put together for us here tonight. We're getting ready for Roseburg and Churchill squaring off. This is the Roseburg Disposal pregame show. You can let them make the run of the dump for you. Give them a call at 673-7122. We'll have a look at your Southern Septic Service starting lineups here in just a few moments. From residential to commercial, Southern Septic Service has your behind covered when it comes to septic tank pumping and inspections, portable toilet rentals, and grease trap cleaning. Southern Septic Service is woman and veteran owned and a proud supporter of our local sports teams. Well, Knight, as we get ready for this evening's action, Roseburg taking on Churchill, league opener. We talked about the run game early on in the pregame here. Looking at it tonight, what do you feel like is a key to tonight's ball game for the Roseburg Indians?
I think the key coming in today, and we mentioned it a little bit earlier, is winning in the trenches. This is a Churchill team that is very run first. Last week, they had under 100 passing yards, but over 350 rushing yards. If you can stifle the run game, which is going to be a tough test, then you're probably going to have a lot of success. And we saw it last week. Roseburg against the pass, a lot more successful defensively, and I think that they're going to have to put themselves in a lot of third and deep situations defensively if they're going to win this game.
We'll see how this one plays out tonight. Looking forward to kickoff right around the corner. That's going to do it for the Roseburg Disposal pregame show. Again, let them make the run of the dump for you. Give them a call at 673-7122. Live video coverage is online at 541radio.com and on our YouTube channel. Search 1490 The Score to find us streaming tonight's ball game there. It's presented by the Cow Creek Tribe. We come back after this final 2-minute break, and we'll get you your Southern Septic Service starting lineups as we find out who's getting the opening kick in tonight's Roseburg and Churchill matchup on 541radio.com and on The Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
Successful companies have a very important secret. Good advertising works and makes them money. That's why your business should contact Lotus Media Group. Let us help you cash in with multimedia advertising. multiple touches from Douglas County's only Google certified partner and most effective advertising platform. Web, broadcast, print. Make it happen. Lotus Media Group LLC.com.
Do I have enough money put away to retire?
Plan for your future with confidence. At Palm Wealth Management, we'll help you see a clear path to financial peace of mind. Call Palm Wealth Management today.
In today's big box store, how-to YouTube video world, it is hard to do it yourself. If you're fixing your fence or putting in a new one, the only place to start is Quality Fence. We stock almost anything you need and take the time to show you how to really do it yourself. Visit the Quality Fence showroom in Roseburg and get great fencing ideas at QualityFenceCo.com.
Quality Fence is doing it right for you.
Looking for more local sports coverage? CBS Sports Radio 1490 The Score has you covered. Check out our homepage at 541radio.com for sports stories, scores, and podcasts. And follow us on social media. 1490 The Score is on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. And take the station with you wherever you go with the 541 Radio app. Download the app in your smartphone's app store and get access to a live stream of the station, sports stories, podcasts, and easy messaging with the station and others.
Churchill won and deferred.
Welcome in, everybody, as we get ready for Roseburg football here on this Friday night from Finlay Field. They are wrapping up the pregame clock, and it's just about time to kick it off. Churchill won the coin toss and deferred, so Roseburg will be getting the football. They will be moving left to right on your radio dial, and Churchill will be kicking right to left. Churchill wearing all white here tonight. Roseburg wearing black tops with the white trousers this evening. And they will be moving left to right. The opening kickoff is away. It'll take a hop at about the 15, tapped up, and jumping down on it, the return man for Roseburg. That is Byron Irving. Let's go ahead and pause 10 seconds for station identification. Roseburg football here on The Score. So we get things started here tonight. Roseburg football will start out at their own 18-yard line. Our Southern Septic Service starting lineup is going to feature at center George Gibby. At the guard positions, A.J. Baker, Jack Bana. At the tackles, Mateo Reynaga and Carson Tyler. In at quarterback is Corey Kimball. Had a huge night last week in getting Roseburg a season-opening victory. He'll set up under center, pitches it out to the left side. It's Caden Austin trying to stretch it to the corner. He gets pushed from behind and will be taken out of bounds out on the far sideline. That's a pickup of enough for a first down as Roseburg will move the chains on the opening play. Takes it out to the they'll put it at the 29-yard line. That's a pickup of 11 for Austin.
Really good play for Austin right there, and we saw a lot of that last week, using his speed as a halfback of sorts. 6 carries, 57 yards, and a touchdown last week, and he gets started here with an 11-yard carry.
Behind Corey Kimball will be Carson Uragwin, a senior. He's a couple of yards deep, move a man in motion from left to right. And keeping it is Kimball. Tried to go over the right side of the offensive line. A short pickup out to the 32. Gain of 3 on the ground. Taking a look at the rest of our Southern Septic Service starting lineups, you'll see Uragwin in the backfield, Landon Simpson. We'll also see the likes of Tyler Reitman possibly back there. We saw a lot of guys carry the football last week. Out at the receiver spots, you've got Austin, McLean Stedman, Byron Irvin, Dane St. Clair, Dre Burwell, Noah Nelson, all getting into action on the offensive side a week ago. 2nd down and 7 for Roseburg. Ball in the left half, or actually middle of the field. It is Kimball. Austin moves in motion from right to left. Give it up the middle. This time Uragwin stuffed as that front line for Churchill. They were predicting and ready for this run-first offense from Roseburg so far.
And Roseburg wants to go up the middle, it seems like here. And unfortunately enough, it really just didn't work out to their favor. And again, what we talked about before the game, Roseburg's going to try to have to win in the trenches here today. They're going to want to run the ball successfully. Now they have themselves a 3rd and 6. Didn't have many 3rd and longs last week.
They'll set up with Landon Simpson in the backfield just behind Corey Kimball under center. He's got a receiver tight to the line on either side. They move Burwell in motion, but he motions back to the left side of the line. Spread out wide to the right side. You've got St. Clair out there along with Stedman. They go in the audible, looking to pass, pump fake, and the pocket collapses on Kimball, trying to escape. They've got his jersey, and they will not let him go. They're going to give him forward progress to the 31, which is a loss of 2 on the sack. I guess Kimball didn't see what he wanted initially on that look for the pass play, tucked it back in, and the pocket quickly collapsed around him.
Yeah, it looked like they were going to go for like a screen attempt on the right side. It looked like Churchill played it excellently defensively, and Kimball tried to pull it back, find some space on the outside. At that point, the pocket had collapsed, and he had nowhere else to go.
Jacob Michael, the senior punter, will be out. Only punted once last week, a net of 13 yards, but at the end of the punt, Roseburg stripped the ball away and returned it 39 yards for a touchdown, so the punt ended up working out majorly in their favor. A man deep to return for Churchill at his own 35. Big boot here out of Michael, angled to the sideline. It'll take a hop at that looked like at the 37, and then it turned direction back into the field of play, and they're going to end up saying down at the 35-yard line after the punt by Michael. So Churchill will have the football for the first time with 9:24 to go here in the first quarter after the punt by Jacob Michael. Flipping to the other side, your Southern Septic Service starting lineup for the Churchill Lancers offense. In the backfield, we've been told it'll be Lucas Ganson, the junior quarterback. He started week 1. Week 2, it was Donovan Jackson. So they've been switching between the two, but it will be Ganson in the backfield in shotgun. He's got Seville Passy to his right. Passy makes one cut, gets to the second level, and he almost has a first down carry on the first play for Churchill. They'll give him credit out to the 43-yard line. That's a pickup of 8 on the ground for Seville Passy, the senior 6 foot, 215-pound back, an honorable mention All-State running back last year, had over 1,200 yards on the ground, 4th most in the 5A classification, had 19 rushing touchdowns, averaged 7.4 a carry. He'll get it again here, running behind a lot of white jerseys, and he only manages 1 yard as Roseburg gets into the backfield. A.J. Baker getting a hand on him to slow him down. It's out to the 44, a pickup of 1.
And you're going to see a lot of runs up the middle with this Churchill team. That's what they want to establish. You're going to see a lot of 13-man personnel out there, a lot of tight ends, a lot of bodies close to the line of scrimmage trying to go up the middle.
Nobody spread wide. They're going to give it to Passy to try and convert on 3rd and short. He will as he gets across the 45, stumbles a few yards forward out to the 48-yard line, a pickup of 4, needed 1 to move the chains, and will. He's running behind a front line that has Xander Mafouty at the center position, Justin Kennedy and Tyler Howe at a couple of guard positions, and then Kellen Hooker and Ethan Vang at the tackles. You'll also see guys like Luke Babbitt, Aiden Pangolinin, Titan Nagel, Kinsley Roberts, And Charlie Dexter out there looking to pass, going downfield. You've got Dexter. He's open on the out route to the corner over the top of the defensive back, McLean Stedman. It's a first down and into Roseburg territory. The football goes to the 30, make that the 25-yard line, other half of the field on the pass completion.
And that's just really the passing game being opened up because of the rushing attack of Churchill. A lot of success with Posse initially, and then right away they're able to drop it off to Dexter for a big gain.
27 yards through the air for Charlie Dexter from Lucas Ganson. They set up just outside the red zone. Hand it off, and it's a second handoff cutting up field. This is Luke Babbitt on the carry. Babbitt was the second person to touch the football. Ganson handed it off to Passy, and then Passy handed it off to Babbitt, who came from the backside cutting back upfield. There's a lot of whistles, a lot of rushing, and the ball came out at the end of it all. It was a scrum on the field, the ball loose, and it looks like Roseburg came away with it. The officials are talking here, but I had no clue that football was out.
I had no clue either.
The crew is getting here, and it looks like they're going to stick with it. Roseburg will have the football on a takeaway. It's a fumble. That'll be Luke Babbitt on the fumble. And then Roseburg, a team takeaway there. And they'll get the football at their own 23, so the Indians will have it back here. Their second possession was 7:18 to go in the first period. A turn of events there on the turnover. Trying to run it again. They hand it off, trying to go on the dive. Nowhere to go for Carson Uragwin. Last week, Uragwin ended up with no carries. At least I didn't write them down, I guess. Oh, no, yes, he had 5 carries for 15 yards. I need to remember how I wrote my own notes down. 6:55 and counting. The football only picked up about a yard to the 24. Uragwin, 5 carries for 15 yards last week. He's had already a few here tonight. He sets up as the deep back behind Kimball. Move a man in motion. They'll pitch it again, stretching it to the outside, trying to race around. Got by one man, and upfield goes Burwell across the 30 to the 31. It's going to make it third down and manageable. Now they'll only give him to the 30-yard line. He ended up on the other side of the 30, but the mark is going to be just shy of the 30-yard line. It's going to be third down and about 3 to try and convert a long 3 here for the Tribe.
Really successful play, though, getting positive yardage. It felt like Roseburg was struggling a little bit on the ground, and finally they got a break.
6:10 and counting here in the first quarter. They're going to go with the dive up the middle, just try to push the pile, a wall of black jerseys. It's close to the first down marker, and the signal is first down Roseburg on the carry. I believe Uragwin on the ball carry with that time.
It was Kimball. Yeah, and that's a rare play that you see. 3rd and 3, and you get a quarterback sneak up the middle. But when you have a quarterback like Corey Kimball that has some size with him, he's able to maneuver up through the middle. It felt like I was watching Canadian football out there with the QB sneak from 3 yards away.
They get 5 yards on that sneak to the 34. Ball on the right hash mark. Austin moves in motion. They'll pitch it to him on the outside, trying to use his speed. Found an open spot, spins through one tackle. He's still on his feet as he gets across the 45, and tough run in there for Caden Austin after the pitch. He found a little bit of an open space, and he's got the speed to get upfield. Whistles, they're going to send McLean Stedman off the field for some sort of equipment issue, or make sure that he's good to go. They send him to the sideline. But a big run there by Caden Austin will move the chains. Also, a player lost his helmet to the sideline for Churchill. Will go Ryder Nagel. Ball out to the 47-yard line on a pickup of 13 for Austin. He sets up right side of the line, bookending it. On the other side is Burwell. Spread out wide is St. Clair, and a timeout taken by Roseburg. The Indians will use a timeout with 5:17 to go here in the first quarter. Let's go ahead and take one as well. 30-second timeout here on 541radio.com and on the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
Brook Communications radio stations have joined forces with the News Review and Lotus Web Services, announcing the Lotus Media Group, a multimedia enterprise. Web, broadcast, print. Make it happen with Lotus Media Group, LLC.com.
From residential to commercial, Southern Septic Service has your behind covered when it comes to septic tank pumping and inspections, portable toilet rentals, and grease trap cleaning. Southern Septic Service, woman and veteran owned, and a proud supporter of our local sports teams. Scoreless ball game, 5:17 to go, first quarter. Out of the timeout by Roseburg. They have the football near midfield, facing first down and 10. One target spread either side, looking to pass for just the second time. Pump fake, and the pocket collapses. Good coverage on the receivers. Left Corey Kimball with nowhere to go with the football, and he gets taken down for a loss back to the 47.
That was a big hit right there on Kimball, and man, it looked like he was trying to gun it downfield, had nothing, and then all of a sudden, smash! 3 bodies right in front of him. Tough loss of 5.
Back to the 42-yard line, makes it 2nd and 15 for the Indians. Kimball will go back under center. So far, he's tried to drop back twice to pass, and both times he has had nobody open and been taken down for a loss. In confusion, he's just going to try to scramble, nowhere to go, and Roseburg's offense miscommunication, and players not where they needed to be. Kimball dropped back to the 41, will lose another yard.
And trying to hand it off to the left side. Everybody was going to the right side of him. Seemed like the miscommunication was just Kimball right there, with everybody moving to the right side.
Looking the wrong direction for the handoff. Running the play in for Roseburg will be Noah Nelson. Third down and 16 for Roseburg. Kimball under center. Do they go to pass again? Miscommunication. He will air it out downfield. Has a man down there, but it's picked off. Taken away. Nick Miller will get there. It'll almost work a bit as a punt, but ball not thrown enough, and the first interception thrown for Corey Kimball this season.
And I like the move from Kimball, looking to take a shot. I mean, it's 3rd and long. You're going to have to try to gun it downfield if you want to try to pick up that first down. I thought it was a good decision, jump ball opportunity, but an even better play, though, by Nick Miller, rising up and bringing it down for the Lancers.
So takeaway there for Churchill. The Lancers will have it back. They have had a few takeaways this season. That's their 5th interception on the year, and they'll have the football in their territory with 3:47 to go in the first quarter. Handoff to Posse out to the right side, and he will get wrapped up at his ankles. It's Paxton Burke coming in to make the stop for Roseburg. The ball carried out to the 42-yard line. That'll be a pickup of 7. Paxton Burke last week, 5 tackles from his safety position, forced a fumble and recovered it. He'll set up deep again. They will hand it off. Posse running right side. He makes the first man miss, gets hit from behind. He's not doing anything fancy. He is just out there just waiting for guys to kind of make a move, and then he just finds a way to counteract it.
He's very patient, more like a Le'Veon Bell type of running back. He reads the blockers, uses his physicality. You could see the stiff arm right there from Posse. And, you know, we've seen that throughout the season. He's a physical back, and he's going to lower a shoulder every now and then. And we saw it right there on that gain of about 7.
Going to send a man off the field late here for Churchill. Blake Michael heads to the sideline at the last minute. Under center is Ganson with Posse behind him. Fake the handoff, looking to pass. He's got man open, going way downfield, but he throws it too far. Intended downfield for TJ Wright, and that ball outside of his reach. But, boy, they drew up the right play there, and Roseburg secondary in coverage, expecting so much of the run, they got mixed up on who needed to be covering who on that one.
And that's the problem that you have when you're facing an offense that Churchill has, is that they're so run-focused. They're going to run the ball about 70-80% of the time. You just got to be ready for those 20% of the times where the Lancers are going to throw the ball. And we saw it last week for Churchill, a lot of explosive passing plays because the run game was so good.
2:34 to go. They're going to give it back to Passy, running right side. One-on-one. He breaks around the edge. Defense looking to try and recover. Taken out of bounds on the far side. Jumping on the back of the ball carrier, Brayson Parker will make the tackle to stop Posse out on the edge at the 34-yard line as he carries it into Roseburg territory, moves the chains, and sets up Churchill in good position.
Already 43 yards for Posse right now, and again, it's using that stiff arm. He's so physical, he's so strong, and he's able to use that to push himself past the yard of gain.
17 on that one. It's going to be a keeper for Ganson after the fake to Posse, and he gets wrapped up going through the middle, coming in to help make the stop for Roseburg, Byron Irvin.
First time we're seeing Ganson get a carry. But again, that's just because of that distraction that you have when you're trying to stop Posse. 6 carries, 43 yards.
Pickup of 2 on first down for the quarterback keeper. Clock running down, under 2 minutes to go. Been a first quarter that's been moving quickly. Hand it off. Posse just patient, waits for a seam to open. Then he turns on the jets and he bolts right into the line. Just with a late burst there. He's just got so much power. He takes it to the 29, will pick up 3. And Roseburg, a big third down possibility here, trying to see if they can make this a short gain, if not a loss. And it's kind of no man's land here. You got to think this is 2-down territory for Churchill.
No doubt, and it really feels like Posse has just found a way to always fall forward. He's not falling backwards, but you need to have more of that if you're Roseburg, clogging up the line of scrimmage, getting into the trenches, and stopping the run up the middle.
Clock continues to run down to 1:12. Hand it off. Posse left side. Blockers in front of him. Makes a couple of cuts. Now falls behind Dexter. Weaves his way, climbing the hash. And out to the 16-yard line is where they bring him down. It's a gain of 13 on third and medium. And once again, a first down carry for Seville Posse, the senior.
He's just been killing it, man.
Yeah, he is a weapon back there, and he's carrying the load.
He is the definition of a workhorse.
They will give him a breather here. Into the backfield will be Titan Nagel, 6 foot, 205 pounds. He's going to get it and stretch it to the far side. He hurdles a man, goes down inside the 15. They'll mark him at the 14-yard line as he hurdled the tackler and was able to tumble forward for a couple of yards. Otherwise, might have been cut down right at the line of scrimmage.
Really good play by Paxton Burke out of the secondary to charge in and able to force that hurdle and get the short gain.
Just about done with the first quarter here. Tonight's ballgame brought to you by Barnes Heating and Cooling, your complete energy company. Visit barnesheatingandcooling.com or call them at 541-459-1545. Second down and about 8. Posse back in after a short breather. He gets back to the line of scrimmage. No gain as he got hit hard. He'll get a hand up from the Roseburg defensive player. Right back to the line of scrimmage. Really no gain on that play. And the first time we've really seen Roseburg lay the hammer on Seville Posse. And that does it for the first quarter. Quick move in here early on. It's scoreless after 1. We'll head to a quick 1-minute timeout here on 541radio.com and on the Score, 92.3 FM at 1490 AM.
Quality Fences, doing it right for you. Just ask your neighbor. Quality Fences, doing it right for you.
Neal Company Real Estate, a sponsor of Roseburg football on the Score. Check out Neal Company Real Estate at nealco.com for the latest listings around Douglas County. Their agents can help you score the home of your dreams. Second quarter starting here, 12 minutes on the board. It is third down and about 8 to go here for Churchill. They've got the play they want. Out on the outside, slipping one tackle, making a stutter step, trying to power his way inside down to the 6. It's going to be right at the sticks here for Seville Posse. Roseburg had what they wanted, and they couldn't bring down the big power back.
That was an incredible run right there from Posse. He had 2 defenders on him at one time, and he made both of them miss with a cut to the outside. He earned that first down.
It was like at one point he just realized, if I'm going to get this, I've got to run through some guys. So he just dropped it down into a low gear and powered over everybody. First real scoring opportunity for either side. They move a man in motion into the backfield. It's a Wildcat here, running to the far side. TJ Wright stretching it to the corner, and he is tackled as he crosses the goal line. TJ Wright comes in, takes the snap at quarterback, and takes it himself to the end zone. A 6-yard touchdown run for the Churchill Lancers.
Just an excellent play design, and that's just kind of been what Churchill's done. They've stuck to the ground game the entirety of this quarter plus, and right there they use a little bit of trickery, moving TJ Wright, who was that open wide receiver on that shot they took earlier on this drive, had him take the snap and use his speed to break to the outside, and his speed is legit, able to find the end zone.
So now we'll set up to see what they want to do on the extra point. And it looks as if they're going to go for 2. They've got Ganson under center with Posse behind him. And a miscommunication. A flag will come out. This will look like it will likely back up Churchill for an even longer 2-point attempt. I'll wait to see here on the explanation. It is against Churchill.
Legal motion. Illegal substitution.
So they will set it up. 5-yard penalty. It'll go back to the 7-yard line, make that 8-yard line. And so that is our first penalty of the game. Fake the handoff for Ganson, throwing to the end zone. He rifles one right into the gut of TJ Wright, who hangs on for the catch. And the 2-point try is good. And that'll make it 8-0. Churchill in front of Roseburg. Let's take a 30-second timeout on 541radio.com and on the score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
How should I be investing my money?
Plan for your future with confidence. At Palm Wealth Management, we'll help you see a clear path to financial peace of mind. Call Palm Wealth Management today.
I'm confused by the huge market swings.
Get a better understanding of your finances. At Palm Wealth Management, we care about your priorities and help restore financial security. Call Palm Wealth Management today.
11-play drive for Churchill. They would cover 65 yards. Let's see here what they used. 38 seconds here in the second quarter, plus the final 3 minutes and 47 seconds in the first quarter. Long marching drive down the field for the Churchill Lancers. Tonight's game is sponsored by Dr. Lance and Randall Family and Cosmetic Dentistry. Visit drrandall.com or call 541-378-6694. Kickoff going left to right. It's a short kick. And taken at the 25, bobbled, but able to recover it for Roseburg. Amos Bowers jumps on top of it. Roseburg had maybe a chance at a return, but they'll settle for a pretty decent starting position out at the 30-yard line. Well, Roseburg's got to find a way to start moving the ball consistently. So far, they've had a couple of drives that have stalled out with not a lot of room to run through the middle.
No doubt, and they really want to try to get the passing game going. Last week, Corey Kimball, he had an impressive performance, 4 of 6, over 100 yards, 2 passing touchdowns. So far today, he's been sacked in both of his passing attempts, trying to get the ground game going as well.
Kimball will be under center. He's got Uragwin back behind him, move a man in motion, and a timeout called before the snap right at the last second. And that will stop play here in the second quarter. We're going to utilize that and take a quick 30-second timeout here as well on 541radio.com and on the score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM. Whether it's across town or across the state, moving is always a chore. So let BTB Moving help with your next move. BTB Moving is a labor-only company offering statewide services such as packing and unpacking, loading and unloading, piano moving, cleaning services, and 24-hour emergency services. BTB Moving is an affordable veteran-owned company here to help with your next move. Call 541-315-0122 or find BTB Moving on Facebook. That's BTB Moving for all your moving needs. So we will get back to action here. Roseburg coming back out on the field. Tonight's game sponsored by Chuck Swarman Family Auto Repair. Are you ready to go where life takes you? Roseburg has a receiver back to the end of each side of the offensive line. Uragwin is 4 yards deep. They move Austin in motion from right to left. Give it to Uragwin, trying to muscle his way through the middle, and Churchill in there trying to strip the ball out of his hands. Coming away with it is Ben Kluth. He came up trying to say, hey, I got a strip. I took the ball away, but they're not going to give him credit for it. Say that Uragwin was down on the carry at the 31-yard line, a pickup of 2 to make it 2nd and 8.
He certainly was down.
You could see, though, Kluth got in there and was getting his hands, and I was watching Uragwin really trying to make sure he had a good grip on that football, so kudos to him for doing it. Gibby, the center, over the football, waits for the under center snap to Kimball. They move Burwell in motion. It's a pitch out to the right side. Burwell finds some room, had some blocking, but run down from behind. Good tackle out on the edge for the Lancers. Coming up to make the stop, Kinsley Roberts gets in there to wrap up Burwell, who tried to sprint through a nice little seam that he had the alley, just could not quite get to the next level.
Really good closing speed right there from Churchill. But you're going to want to do a little bit more of that if you're Roseburg. You haven't really had a lot of success up the middle. Fake the hand up of the middle and try to pitch it out to the outside. Get the ball in your playmaker's hands. You need to feed Burwell. You need to feed Austin here today.
It's 3rd down and 5 for the Indians. They'll set up on the right hash mark. McLean Stedman spread out wide to the left side. St. Clair to the right side. It's the option. No, they give it, and up the middle goes Landon Simpson. Faked out here in the booth as Corey Kimball runs a pretty nice fake. They'll spot the football at the 37, and it's going to be 2 yards shy of the 1st down. And we'll see probably punt territory here for Roseburg, as they're about less than 2 yards away from converting, but they're deep in their own territory.
And you're really hesitant whether or not you want to punt it right there because of Kimball and his quarterback sneak he already had on 3rd and 3. And you don't really know if you want to punt the ball back to Churchill, just the way that they've been able to drain the clock offensively with the run game. But when you're on your own side of the field, it's kind of a no-doubter. You're going to have to try to punt it even though you don't want to.
TJ Wright is deep to return again. Good kick out of Jacob Michael. That one backing way up, but it will take a Churchill bounce into the end zone. Michael got too big of a boot behind that one. 9:02 to go. Churchill will have the football starting out at their own 20. They will whistles there. I thought maybe there might be some sort of issue happening, but they'll bring the ball out. So the punt by Michael, a big boot, but just a bit too much. Roseburg football tonight brought to you by Flyway Travel. Contact the travel experts at Travel Leader, Flyway Travel. To make sure that you've got an agent in your corner, call 541-672-5701.
It's a heck of a punt.
Yeah. Well, now Roseburg's defense, I mean, you kind of almost know what's coming, but if you do stack it up a bit too much, they've got targets out there they've been able to find in the passing game for Churchill, so you got to be careful, but you've really got to kind of make sure you are prepared for Seville Posse coming through the middle.
He's just been so dominant, and Coach Matt Watson talked a little bit about it earlier this week, about how he knew this offense. He knew what kind of adjustments they're making. He knew what they wanted to do. Now it's just time for the defense to step up and try to stop it.
Roseburg has 5 men up at the line and still able to run around it out the far side. Slowed him up for a bit. Posse at the 25. Taking on tacklers, still moving the pile out to about the 27. They met him at the 20, and he made one man miss and just continued to muscle over guys.
And I think that's the problem with trying to stop Posse, is you know that it's coming, and they're getting into the right spots. They're just not making the tackles because he's just physically stronger than everybody else. It feels like he's just bouncing around everybody.
Sets up second down and short as the sun starts to fade. Light starting to take effect here at Finlay Field. Fake the handoff to Posse, looking to throw down the field. A lot of targets down there. It's caught behind the defense. Paxton Burke trying to trip up the receiver, and he does as Babbitt takes it all the way to the 20 on the other side of the field. And that'll be first down for Churchill. Down to the 20-yard line, he flips the field. That's a 53-yard pass connection to Lucas Babbitt.
Incredible speed, though, from Burke from behind. We saw him last week come from behind and get a strip of a player from Gresham. That time he dove and got the ankles and prevented the touchdown. Really impressive stuff from Burke from the back end. But again, that's Churchill, just the passing game opening up because of the run game being so dominant. And that's where they find their explosive plays. It's run, 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 then pass. And when they finally throw it, it feels like it's an explosive play every single time.
The officials are discussing something here as the ball was set to be at the 20, but there is a penalty flag I just noticed on the far sideline. Might be a sideline violation against Churchill. It is. Sideline violation. It's going to be a 5-yard penalty from the end of the play, it looks like. Churchill's going to burn a timeout here as they'll have the football back at the 25 on Roseburg's half of the field. So they will lose 5 on that one, and they'll have first down and 10 from the 25-yard line. Let's go ahead and take a 30-second timeout here on 541radio.com and on the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM. .8:17 to go here in the second quarter. First half action from Finlay Field. Roseburg trailing 8-0 against Churchill. Tonight's game brought to you by Fisher's Hearth and Home, serving Douglas County for over 30 years with the largest selection of wood, gas, pellet, and electric stoves and fireplaces in the area. So it'll be first and 10 from the 25 after the sideline penalty against Churchill. Churchill's had the 2 penalty flags we've seen so far tonight. Posse gets it. He's going to just go right side over the tackle and gets to the 20 before he's met. Reitman in there along with Burke to help make the stop for Roseburg.
It's just Posse again and again and again. Another pickup of about 6 that time, and he's already up to 85 yards here in this first half. And it just feels like it's ground game, ground game, ground game, opening up the passing attack, but it's just so hard. It's like trying to hit a fastball and you know it's coming, but the speed just blows right past you.
Again, it's Posse, but handoff is faked by Ganson. He goes airborne. Might have stepped on the back of a player, and I don't know if that's allowed. I think that's why the penalty flag comes out there at the end of that play. Ganson, the quarterback, went airborne and almost stepped on the back of the lineman, both offense and defense, right at the line to get up and over. And the penalty flag came out at the end of this play. That could be helpful for Roseburg. The ball spotted about a yard from the line of scrimmage, so it'd be a pickup of about 1. And it'd be third down. Yeah, it's hurdling, and it's a 15-yard penalty. They'll replay second down. That's big.
Yeah, I'm not sure hurdling's allowed at the high school level, and that's why you get that penalty. Mainly they have that in place to try to prevent any injuries and really to just protect the high school players out there. And a little bit of a dangerous play. He made it look fun. I mean, I'll tell you what, if it comes to springtime, you might want to try hurdles, track and field, but can't do that out here.
Lucas Ganson, the junior quarterback, 6'1", 175 pounds, started week 1, was not the starter week 2 at quarterback, but he's back here in week 3. Now his team facing second down and long, looking to pass, going to go out and on the wheel route down the sideline and disrupting the football out there in coverage for Roseburg. Dane St. Clair got there in the nick of time against Charlie Dexter to dislodge the football.
Really good pass breakup right there from Roseburg, able to prevent the deep shot. And now this is exactly where you want Churchill, 3rd and 18, a chance to get off the field. the same time, this may be 2-down territory for the Lancers. We'll see what they do offensively here in this situation. But trailing by 8 right now, you got to look at the positives. And right now, finding yourself in a 3rd and 18 defensively is a positive right here for the Indians.
Ball in the middle of the field at the 33-yard line. Looking to pass again. Ganson over the middle, had the slant route. Almost a one-handed catch by Lucas Babbitt. That would have been a highlight play, but he couldn't hold it in. It goes just off the fingertips. He got that big mitt out there, and I thought for a second he was just going to suck that ball right into his gut.
Yeah, I mean, as the great Chick Hearn would say, the mustard's off the hot dog a little bit right there. But, I mean, he almost pulled that off. A phenomenal attempt on the one-handed grab. Got to get 2 hands, though, on there and bring that one in.
So it makes it 4th down and long. They've got to get the ball to the 15. They're out at the 33. So that's a 4th down and 18 for Churchill. They leave the offense on the field. Posse is the deep back. Looking to pass is Ganson. He's just going to huck it to the end zone. And that ball thrown out of bounds. No chance at a flag on the play, and Roseburg gets a turnover on downs. The penalty helped them big, but their defense stands tall in the passing game.
It's a big win just to get 3 straight incompletions after the success that Lucas Ganson had in his first 3 attempts. Through his first 3 attempts, 80 yards total. 2 completions, obviously a lot of help from that 3rd attempt, 53 yards, but at the same time getting 3 straight incompletions on a passing attempt that was finding a lot of success is huge. And now you have great field position, and you have 7:08 to try to go down the field and try to even this one up before halftime, down 8-0.
Roseburg will have the football at their own 33. Again, they stick with the same formation. 1 target spread to either side. 2 backs tight to the line. Bowers moving in motion, looking to pass. Have the man open in the middle. That's Austin. He's got a couple of defenders out there to beat. Gets a block. He springs it to the outside. He's at the 30, the 25, the 20. Taken down at about the 16. Big play there for Caden Austin. But a penalty flag is out at where there was a block. I believe McLean Stedman helped out on that play. And next door, we can hear the frustration from the Roseburg coaches. McLean Stedman's going to get whistled for flagged for a blindside block. And the player was turned looking his direction. As I got a chance to watch the replay there for those that are watching online, but they're going to call it a blindside block, and that's going to cost Roseburg yardage, but they do move in to Churchill territory. They'll spot the ball at the 39 for the penalty on the pass completion. So that is going to be 28 yards on the completion for Austin, but then the penalty is going to back Roseburg back up onto their own half of the field.
It's just a brutal break. First completion of the game, and you finally had some success getting Caden Austin the ball in space. You need to do more of that. They didn't have a lot of success in the passing attempts, but it was just a quick shot up the middle, and you need to do more of that and get the ball out of Kimball's hand a little bit quicker, because it feels like if he's there longer than 3 seconds, the Lancers are coming after him.
It was a great job by Austin to get open as the defense had some soft coverage. The officials making sure everything is on the right page here. 6:58 to go. It is an 8-0 score. Churchill in front of Roseburg here in the second quarter. League opener for Roseburg. Churchill already 1-0 in league play after a win over Springfield last week. Looking to run the ball, it is Uraguin who found a little bit of a soft spot on the left side of the line, follows the tackles across the 50. He tumbles forward, a bit of a somersault down to the 48 across into Churchill territory.
That's big for Uraguin. Only 4 yards on his first 3 attempts. Gets 6 right there. And all of a sudden you have the ball in Churchill territory. Maybe you can put together a drive right here.
Roseburg looking to see if they can get points before halftime. It's been a kind of grind them out type of first half here so far, with a couple of big explosion plays on either side. Kimball under center. Austin moves in motion. It's going to be Kimball on the keeper. Late pitch to Austin. He's got the sideline with a blocker out in front of him. Noah Nelson helping pave the way for Roseburg, as down the sideline goes the dangerous weapon in Caden Austin as he takes it to the 32, picks up 16.
And Austin's just been dynamic with the ball in his hand. 68 total yards already for Austin on 4 total touches.
last week for Caden Austin. 2 catches for 47 yards and a touchdown. 6 carries for 57 yards and a score. He'd love to put one on the board here as Roseburg trails with 6:13 to go. Clock stopped as the ball was out of bounds, taken out of bounds by Austin. In the backfield is Simpson in a 3-point stance. He hits with Kimball, and Simpson gets thrown down by Lucas Babbitt. This Churchill team, they've got just a lot of big bodies out there, big, strong kids out there on that Churchill squad.
No doubt, and they don't have the biggest roster. If you look at their roster, it looks to be half the size of Roseburg's, but they have a lot of fighters out there, a lot of physical players that love to get in there and wreak havoc.
5-yard pickup on the ground for Simpson. He's in the backfield still. Clock continues to run down to 5:42. It's 2nd down and 5. Ball near the middle of the field. In motion goes Austin, looking to pass. They're going to go out in the flats to him. He makes a cut back to the middle and will spin forward. He'll get positive yards, but I would have loved to have seen him just continue to try to race to the sideline, get the angle, and try to see if he could stretch that one.
No doubt, and it felt like he was just trying to cut back, make one man miss, and then break away, but you got to use your speed in that situation. You've been so dynamic. You got to get to the boundary, and right there you try to cut it back inside where a lot more Lancers were.
Junior defensive lineman Ethan Vang limps to the sideline. He will make his way to the bench and get looked at by the Churchill trainer. He was able to make it to the sideline on his own, but was limping pretty good there. It's 3rd down and 3 for Roseburg. Ball at the 26-yard line. This is probably 2-down territory for him here. Simpson behind Kimball. And Kimball's going to keep it himself. He races around the edge. He has the 1st down at the 20, tucks it in. He was waiting to see if he had an opportunity to pitch that ball even later, but he hangs on to it all the way to the 18-yard line. He'll pick up the 1st down as he picks up 8 on the scramble.
That's huge for Kimball, who had struggled through his first 5 rushing attempts. He was in the negatives, -2, a lot of that because of sacks, but able to pick up 8 right there, get the 1st down. It's a big pickup for Kimball, and this drive is looking awfully impressive for the Indians right now.
I don't think it was an 8-yard pickup. I think it was closer to 4. I think I forgot to write down a run play on the last one, so I missed a play on the drive. So it is 1st down and 10 from the 18 for Roseburg into the red zone. For the first time tonight, fake the pitch, rolling to the right. Kimball has to get it out. He does. A jump pass out into the flats. Catch made, and Simpson will take it down to the 16-yard line. Great play design, but a good job by the Churchill defense to recover and track down the receiver from behind.
No doubt, and it felt like in that situation, everybody was collapsing. It was a good job by Kimball, able to leap up and get the ball across to Simpson. Just better defense to try to close real quickly with the soft toss from Kimball.
Simpson on the completion from Kimball picks up just 2 on that play. Felt like it was going to go for more. They will spread out St. Clair to the far side, Stedman to the near side. One back either side of the offensive line. In the backfield is Uragwin. Under center goes Kimball. Moves Austin in motion. They'll give it to Uragwin, bouncing off a guy's left side, but he is wrapped up. It's Seville Posse, who is a 2-time first-team All-League linebacker, as well as the success he sees at the running back position, and he makes the tackle there. And it'll force Roseburg into 3rd down and long. No gain on the carry.
It's been tough for Uragwin up the middle. And Posse, I mean, as much as we talk about him as a running back, they say he's an even better linebacker.
3rd down and long here. Stacking the box is Churchill. 4 down linemen and 2 linebackers up on the edge, real close, looking to pass, going on the slant route. That ball got tipped and then almost intercepted. Stepping in front of it, Lucas Babbitt got a fingertip on it, and then Alonzo Reyes, the defensive back, almost was in the right spot to pick it off, but the tip ended up knocking it out of his direction, and so it'll fall incomplete, but that was a close one there for Corey Kimball. Saw what he wanted, but it wasn't exactly what he needed. Roseburg with the football, under 3 minutes to go in the first half. They trail Churchill 8-0. Been tough sledding for the Indians so far here tonight, and they face 4th down and long. The football at the 16, and Roseburg's going to call a timeout as they want to draw this one up. Roseburg uses their second here in the first half. Let's go ahead and use a 30-second timeout on 541radio.com and on the score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
At Douglas County Farmers Co-op, we want your four-legged friends to be healthy and happy. That's why we stock a carefully curated selection of pet, equine, and livestock supplies. From the premium foods your pets crave to grooming and show supplies that help you shine in the show ring, you'll find it at Douglas County Farmers Co-op. Our knowledgeable staff are here to help with those tough pet and livestock care questions. Stop by or shop at DouglasCountyFarmersCoop.com.
2:58 to play here in the first half. Along with Knight Ureski, I'm Joey Kieran. Stay with us for the halftime show where we'll recap the first half and take a look at our out-of-town scoreboard updates brought to you by BTB Moving. Big fourth down coming up here for Roseburg. Got the ball in Churchill territory at the 16. They've got to get it to the probably the 8 to really get the first down. Bowers moves in motion, looking to pass. Quick slant route. It's caught by Stedman. Makes a man miss, and then the defenders fall down. Touchdown, Roseburg! And the Indians are in here in the first half.
Great move from Stedman. Able to shake off the defender one-on-one on the slant route, and I was nervous. It felt like he was going to be a little bit short, but all of a sudden he makes a man miss, finds his way into Painter. And the Indians are on the board right here.
A TD pass from 16 yards out for Corey Kimball, finding McLean Stedman. Stedman's first catch of the season. And it goes for a score. He had 2 touchdowns as a sophomore last year, and he gets his first here in 2024. Now a chance to try and tie it up on the 2-point try for Roseburg. Kimball under center. And give it to Uraguin. Did he get in? No. Going to come up short, and it's going to stay 8-6. Churchill in the lead against Roseburg with 2:53 to go here in the first half. Well, big drive and a big play there on the end of that drive for Roseburg to get on the board. They lead it 8-6. Now their defense is going to have to defend for at least a little bit before the halftime break. Churchill will get the ball to start the second half. Keep that in mind as well. Tonight's ball game brought to you by DC Farmers Co-op, where everyone is welcome to shop. And we want to say thank you to the Cow Creek Tribe for sponsoring our online video stream of Roseburg football. You can watch Roseburg football at 541radio.com or check out our YouTube channel. Search 1490 The Score on YouTube. Hit the subscribe button, and you can follow the action with us there. Kickoff coming here, but a good drive. Let's see here. 11 plays. Roseburg covers 67 yards. And let's see, that would have been 4 minutes and 15 seconds that it took Roseburg to march down the field for that one.
It was a good drive, especially in response. You got a stop, turnover on downs. You're able to turn that into points. You needed that trailing by 8.
Kickoff coming here. Jacob Michael with the big boot, ready to send it away into the night sky as the sun has probably officially set. He gets the big boot behind it, sends this one into the end zone between the B and the U in Roseburg. And boy, that kid has really sharpened up his kicking game. He's got a little bit more behind it here this season. Kicked last year for Roseburg, but doing a good job kicking again this year.
He has quite the leg, especially in this game. He's cleaned it up a little bit. Last week, a few of them tailed a little bit out of bounds. So far today, you think about that punt, you think about that kickoff right now. It's been a great kicking day for him.
So the defense will come back out for Roseburg as the offense for Churchill. They hand it off and wrapped up from behind. And that's one of the defensive linemen for Roseburg. That is once again Brayson Parker, who comes in to make the stop, this time on Seville Posse. Did a nice job to stand him up and hug him and just bring him down.
Yeah. Haven't seen too much of that today. That's only the second time that Posse's only gotten a yard on a carry. But what a good play right there from Brayson Parker, who had a big week last week in the win against Gresham.
They're going to run it the opposite direction to the left side of the offense. Couple of stutter steps, get around a couple of men, and he'll have the first down. And Roseburg's defense going to probably talk about breaking down to try and make the tackle because they've been juked out a few times. Posse is just so big. He moves very well for a big man.
Well, and not only that, but he also just does a great job at just maneuvering around. First he's going left, then he's going right, then he cuts it back outside, and all of a sudden you look up and he's got the first down.
He picks up 14 on that play. And they're going to go on the double handoff. It does not work once again. Last time we saw that, it ended up in a fumble. They go on the double handoff to Lucas Babbitt once again. He hangs on to the football, but he's tackled for a loss. Back to the 30-yard line, loses 3.
And last week, that ended up being a touchdown. We were watching the highlights earlier, and I said, look at this, Joey. They handed off twice. They've done that so far here today twice. It just hasn't worked out for them.
Down to 1:45 to go, 8-6. Churchill in front. Roseburg doing a nice job on the defensive line to make sure that Posse can't get outside. And they redirect him back in. I think that might have been Burwell out there as the outside linebacker, defensive end, forced him back to the inside, and the rest of the defensive line came in to help as Roseburg gets the stop. No gain on the play for Seville Posse.
Posse at 100 yards even. Unable to add on to his total here today. 15 carries, 100 yards.
3rd down and 13 for the Lancers. Fake the handoff. Ganson looking to throw, looking downfield as a man on the out route to the far sideline, and it's through the hands of the intended receiver downfield. That was Wright out there, TJ Wright, who they were looking to target on that one, and he can't haul it in. Pass was pretty much right where it needed to be, and it was right there when it needed to be there. He just couldn't collect it.
Yeah, you got to catch that one on the sidelines. But all of a sudden, 4 straight incompletions for Ganson. The Indians got to stop, and they have a $1.07 to try to play with to maybe take the lead before the end of the half.
Paxton Burke back at the 35 to try and return this kick. And this will be the first punt from Churchill tonight. Their punter waits. It's a high snap, and one-handed brings it in, gets the kick away. It's not a great one, angled to the near sideline. Roseburg's got to get away from the football. Churchill's going to let the clock continue to wind, and they will down the football at the 41-yard line. So Roseburg will get the football back with under a minute to go after the kick there by Blake Michael. Not a great one, and it sets them up near midfield, but they're going to need a couple of big plays to try and move down the field here against this Churchill defense.
That was a huge play, though, by Michael to rise up and get him on one hand. If he doesn't make that play, Roseburg has a shot at maybe even a touchdown, another special teams touchdown, which you saw last week, or even better field position, but this is looking pretty good right here from their own 46.
Roseburg's last drive ended up with 6. They start out, they're at their own 41 here. Ball on the left hash mark. At center is Gibby. Snaps it back, looking to pass. Pressure comes downfield, one-on-one. Oh, off the fingertips of McLean Stedman. Couldn't get both hands up there in time. That was a pretty good pass, and Stedman in a good position. If he gets 2 hands up, he might have had a chance to pull it in.
Yeah, just a little bit late. He sprinted past the defender, and it was a pretty good throw from Kimball, just layering it over the secondary, I should say.
I was surprised that he even had a chance. Yeah, that ball almost dropping in the bucket there for McLean Stedman. Good touch on the ball for Kimball. He'll set up under center. The running back behind him is Simpson. Now you've got Nelson spread out to the left side. They're going to pitch it, trying to run. Bowers fumbles it, and he's able to get back on top of it, and Roseburg avoids disaster there. The football goes back to the 33-yard line on the fumble. Amos Bowers on the toss. It was like he was trying to catch a greased-up pig.
It's not ideal in that situation.
Not an ideal situation in many spots. The clock continues to run with 23 seconds to go. Roseburg might just be content to try and be cautious here and take it into the halftime, down by 2 against Churchill. 15 seconds and counting. Nelson spread out to the left. St. Clair out to the right side. Simpson in the backfield. Kimball taking his time, 5 seconds, and I think he's letting this one wear down. The hand is up from our back judge, but there it is. Halftime, and that'll do it. Roseburg will head into the locker room trailing for the first time this season. 8-6, a low-scoring first half from this one. Well, we got a lot in this one to digest from the first half of action. And we'll see if Roseburg can mount a comeback in the second half as Churchill leads this one by 2. Each team with a touchdown in the first half. We'll recap it all for you when we come back, and hopefully this time we'll get a chance to show you some of the halftime performance from the Roseburg High School band. Back after a 2-minute timeout with our halftime show here on 541radio.com and on the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
Successful companies have a very important secret. Good advertising works and makes them money. That's why your business should contact Lotus Media Group. Let us help you cash in with multimedia advertising. Multiple touches from Douglas County's only Google certified partner and most effective advertising platform. Web, broadcast, print. Make it happen. LotusMediaGroupLLC.com.
Do I have enough money put away to retire?
Plan for your future with confidence. At Palm Wealth Management, we'll help you see a clear path to financial peace of mind. Call Palm Wealth Management today.
In today's big box store, how-to YouTube video world, it is hard to do it yourself. If you're fixing your fence or putting in a new one, the only place to start is Quality Fence. We stock almost anything you need and take the time to show you how to really do it yourself. Visit the Quality Fence showroom in Roseburg and get great fencing ideas at QualityFenceCo.com.
Quality Fences, doing it right for you.
Looking for more local sports coverage? CBS Sports Radio 1490 The Score has you covered. Check out our homepage at 541radio.com for sports stories, scores, and podcasts. And follow us on social media. 1490 The Score is on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. And take the station with you wherever you go with the 541 Radio app. Download the app in your smartphone's app store and get access to a live stream of the station, sports stories, podcasts, and easy messaging with the station and other.
Get you a legal ID here real quick. Back here at Finlay Field on the campus of Roseburg High School. At the break, it's 8-6. Churchill leading on top of Roseburg in the league opener for the Indians, looking to try and get a 2-0 start to the season. Before we get into a recap, let's go ahead and pause 10 seconds for station identification. This is Roseburg football on the Score. Back here at the halftime break, 8-6 our score. Let's recap the scoring from the first half of this one. It was neither team in the end zone in the first quarter, both teams with a turnover. Churchill fumbled the ball. Roseburg able to recover, but didn't do anything with it. In fact, would turn it over on a third down attempt. Third down and long ended up being somewhat like a punt. That would give it back, but Churchill would not score in the first quarter on their ensuing drive, but they would carry it into the second quarter where they did find the end zone, and they converted on the two-point try to make it 8-0 with 11:20 to go in the first half. Roseburg would punt on their next drive, but they would force a turnover on downs by Churchill, and then on their next drive, Roseburg would march down the field. They needed 11 plays, but they finished it off on a great move by McLean Stedman to find the end zone, made a cut, and got in for 6 on the throw by Corey Kimball from 16 yards out. His first touchdown grab of the season for Stedman and his first catch of the season. The two-point try, though, a run by Carson Uraguan, did not make it into the end zone, and so it was 8-6 the score with Churchill in front. Ooh, the band popped in there, startled me. Neither team able to do anything in the final make that the final 3 minutes of the first half, and that's how our score is here at the halftime break. It is 8-6 our score, as we're going to get a chance to listen here a little bit to the Roseburg High School Marching Band. Last week we missed out. We joined them at the end of their performance, so we are going to tune in for the Roseburg High School Marching Band and let them entertain you for a few moments here on the halftime show. The Roseburg High School band performing here at halftime. It looks like they are putting all the final touches on their performance for their routines. I think last week was maybe a little too early and they hadn't gone through the whole thing, but boy, they are tightening it up here tonight. They look great, sound great, and looking forward to seeing what their performances are the rest of this season. Always enjoy halftime with the Roseburg High School Marching Band. We're going to go ahead and take a 2-minute timeout. We'll continue on with our halftime show here on 541radio.com and on the Score, 92.3 FM at 1490 AM.
Brook Communications radio stations have joined forces with the News Review and Lotus Web Services, announcing the Lotus Media Group, a multimedia enterprise. Web, broadcast, print. Make it happen with Lotus Media Group, LLC.com.
Whether it's across town or across the state, moving is always a chore. So let BTB Moving help with your next move. BTB Moving is a labor-only company offering statewide services such as packing and unpacking, loading and unloading, piano moving, cleaning services, and 24-hour emergency services. BTB Moving is an affordable veteran-owned company here to help with your next move. Call 541-315-0122 or find BTB Moving on Facebook. That's BTB Moving for all your moving needs.
Are you an enthusiastic sports fan? Want to have fun and get in on the action?
Heck yes, that'd be awesome.
Have great attention to detail? Want to stay active?
Definitely.
Want to give back to the student athletes in your community?
Obviously, yes.
Then you'd make an excellent high school sports official. We need more officials in Oregon, because with no high school officials, there are no high school sports. Sign up today at highschoolofficials.com.
Welcome back here to Finley Field. Matt Uretsky here with Joey Kieran. 8-6 currently the score at the halftime break. Churchill in front over the Indians. Taking a look at your stats from the first half of football for Roseburg. Corey Kimball, the quarterback of the Indians. He went 4 of 7 in the first half, 47 total yards. He had the touchdown pass, and so he has a touchdown once again here, his third of the season, and he is 4 of 7. Eugene, the running back for the Indians, just 10 total rushing yards on 5 total attempts for Eugene. Kimball, the quarterback, he ran the ball the most for the Indians, 6 carries, but just 4 yards. A lot of that hampered by sacks. Caden Austin, he's been impressive once again. 3 carries, 40 total yards, and then he also had 2 receptions for 29 yards. He's been dynamic with the ball in his hand. I think that the Indians are going to have to try to get him the ball a little bit more with those 5 touches for 69 yards. Dre Burwell has also carried the ball a couple of times. 2 carries, 9 yards for Burwell. Simpson has 2 carries for 8 yards in that effort. Amos Bowers, though, a little bit tough for him. 1 carry, negative 11 yards. Not necessarily the start that you want from him after that fumble in the late half. Stedman, though, he was the one that picked up the touchdown. 16-yard touchdown reception for Stedman. And so he has one of the 4 receptions, with Austin having 2, and the other one, Simpson, with 2 yards on 1 catch. On the other side, for Churchill, Lucas Ganson, he started off strong. He went 2 for 3 to start with 80 total yards, but 4 straight incompletions. He's 2 of 7 for 80 yards in that first half. Seville Posse, though, he was the star. 100 yards on 15 total carries in the first half of football. He was tough to bring down, and if you look across the board at the other rushers for Churchill, Babbitt, negative 1 yards on 2 carries. Nagel, 2 yards on just 1 carry. TJ Wright had a 6-yard touchdown rush. The lone score for the Lancers, just the 1 carry in that Wildcat set. Ganson, the quarterback, 1 carry, 2 yards. And 1 catch going to Dexter for the Lancers. So, overall, a pretty fun first half. pretty competitive overall, and I think that if you're Roseburg in this situation, you got to be pretty satisfied, especially after that start offensively.
Yeah, the back and forth here, Roseburg started to find a little bit of footing through the second half of that first half, so I guess that would be the second quarter. But the Indians started to find a little bit of momentum. We'll see what the offense can draw up for the second half. Also, the defense started to kind of knuckle down and close down on some things, forcing some errant passes, being able to disrupt the passing lanes. We'll see if they can continue to try and slow down Seville Posse. That'll be the big story for the second half.
Definitely going to have to try to stop him, and his run game has certainly allowed some explosive plays in the passing game. We saw that in the first 3 attempts from Ganson. The Lancers just got behind the line of scrimmage after that towards the end of that first half.
It's time now to take a look at our local scoreboard update, checking in with scores of note from around the Umpqua Basin. Providing labor services for your moving needs, it's BTB Moving, our out-of-town scoreboard update. Veteran-owned, affordable, dependable, efficient, and careful. Senior and veteran discounts are available. Book now at 541-315-0122. Find them on Facebook at BTB Moving. We got quite a few games from around the Umpqua Basin going on tonight. We unfortunately don't have a lot of scores to report from those games as of yet, but Knight, you've been kind of collecting maybe some other scores to pass along to some folks.
Yeah, just looking at some teams that are in Roseburg's league. Right now you have a special 5A Special District 4 matchup happening tonight. Thurston at Eagle Point down in the Medford area. Thurston, the Colts, up 35-0 nearing the end of the first half. Really impressive performance from Noah Blair in the Thurston Colts. And then taking a look at Willamette, who has 5-star Tony Cumberland on their team. Now he transfers over from a school in Arizona, now playing at Willamette High School. And they're looking like a very, very good football team here in this 5A Special District number 4. They're playing Corvallis tonight, and they're currently up 10-7 against Corvallis and the Spartans. So those are the scores that I have in the Special District. Waiting on a text back from the Springfield game, but it looked like I did actually just got that text. 21-21, Springfield versus Crater at the half.
All right.
So really good game happening right out there.
That's going to be interesting to follow. Local games to report. I just found these ones here. Earlier today, it was Elkton in six-man football. Unfortunately, the Elks fall to 0-2 on the year as they lose 39-12 against Gilchrist. And it was number 1. They moved from number 2 to number 1 after last week's win. Oakland gets a 36-0 win over number 4 Weston McEwen after an 8-hour bus ride. That's a pretty spectacular win for the Oakland Oakers there.
That's
who
good to go
2-0.
back on that 8-hour bus ride with a victory.
Yeah, that they are 2-0 after 2 big wins over ranked opponents to start out the year. We got to get in our final break, so we'll take a 1-minute timeout, come back with the second half for you here on 541radio.com and on the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM. Copy.
Hey there, sports fans. Thanks for watching this local sporting event online at 541radio.com. Did you know there's more than one way to watch games online? You can watch games on your laptop or desktop computer, your tablet, or even your smartphone just by going to 541radio.com. But we also use YouTube to stream all of our video broadcasts, which means you could be watching this game on your big screen TV with a number of different streaming devices. You can stream our live YouTube broadcast through your PlayStation or Xbox gaming device, or through streaming devices like Google Chromecast, Apple TV, or Roku. There's plenty of ways to follow this live local sporting event. Plus, you can find past events archived on 1490 The Score's YouTube channel. Find us on YouTube and subscribe today to keep up with the latest in local sports coverage.
Back here at Roseburg High School, getting ready for the start of the second half between Roseburg and Churchill as we look to try and put the final touches on this one. Did you have a Thurston and Eagle Point game? I thought score. I thought you might have
35-0 Thurston over Eagle Point.
Final or
at the half?
Okay.
At least approaching at the half.
So Thurston dominating there. They have a YouTube link listed for it, but doesn't look like they have a game going on that YouTube channel right now. So I was trying to get that one. Joey Kieran here, along with Knight Ureski here tonight in the booth. Helping out on the video camera tonight is Angela Kieran back in the studio. Grady Hamilton on the radio production for us. Thanks for tuning in and joining us, everybody. Looking forward to having you here for tonight's broadcast of Roseburg High School football. The live video stream for our game is on our YouTube channel. Search 1490 The Score, and you can find us there. And just search 1490 The Score, hit the subscribe button, and make sure you don't miss another broadcast here on The Score. Second half coming up. Churchill's going to get the football to start the second half after winning the coin toss and deferring. So we'll wait to see what they have in store for us here as the third quarter just about to get underway. Roseburg's defense looking to probably try and come out. They always talk about the critical 8 minutes, right? High school might not be quite the same because your quarters aren't quite as long, but
the middle 8.
The middle 8, yeah. The final half of the second quarter and the first half of the third quarter, you want to own those moments going into the locker room and coming out of the locker room. Roseburg's defense has a chance to try and do that first, as they will be out there and try to set the tone on the first possession for Churchill here in the second half. Tonight's ball game, it's been a good one, and we thank you so much for joining us. It is sponsored by Cascade Community Credit Union, belong to Douglas County. All right, it'll be Jacob Michael booting into the night sky once again, going right to left. Roseburg wearing the black tops with the orange numbers on the back, the white trousers. They've got the new black helmets with the orange and white stripes from the front to the back of the helmet, with the orange R on the left side and the jersey number on the right side of the helmet. It's a cool new look for Roseburg here tonight. On the other side, real slick-looking jersey combo for Churchill as well. White tops, white trousers, blue numbers on the front and the back. And on their helmets, all white, white face mask with a Lancer logo, an actual person, like a mascot kind of logo on the side of their helmets.
I love that.
It looks real slick. They've got a good uniform combo there. The whistle is sounded, and we are just about to get underway here in the second half. The boot is into the night sky, going to head right to the 1 yard line where it is collected. It's TJ Wright on the return, angles to the near side, makes a cut at the numbers. There is a penalty flag out as Wright gets tripped up, stumbles across the 40. It was Jacob Michael that got a hand on him to slow him down. And that is going to be out to the 40-yard line, but it's a hold against Churchill on the return. Just noticed we were talking about Donovan Jackson. He was the starting quarterback last week for this Churchill team. He's in street clothes over on the sideline, so probably the reason why we're not seeing him here tonight, or at least in some capacity, whether quarterback or offensively, out there on the field. So hopefully that young man will get better soon. The holding penalty for Churchill is going to back them up. They had the holding flag down at the 20, so they're going to count it off from there. It'll go back to the 10. So
and that's huge for Roseburg. I mean, they're trailing by 2 right now. You got to make a stand defensively here in this situation with the Lancers backed up at their own 10.
So 1st and 10 from their own 10-yard line. Who else? It's Seville Posse, and Roseburg starting to feel more comfortable attacking him, it feels like. They wrap him up, spin him forward, but they only give him credit for about a yard to the 11. Yes. Good spot.
16 yards on his last 4 carries, and you might say, wow, that's still a good amount of yards. That's 4 yards per carry, but 3 of those 4 attempts have been 1 yard or less. Just one gain of 14, but it feels like the Indians are finally starting to find some success against Posse.
2nd down and 9. They will run a fake handoff in there, and that might have been another one of those double handoffs. This time Babbitt does get through the line, and he'll pick up the 1st down to the 21-yard line. From our angle up here in the booth, kind of tough to see exactly where the ball was going, but the quarterback had given it up. Ganson was way out on the far side, and so I think it was another one of those double handoff plays, and Babbitt picks up good yardage.
A lot of deception right there, and it led to some success. Big pickup for the Lancers.
10 yards. Yeah, this time it's Posse. He's on the stretch play to the right side of the line, and that continues to work pretty well for him with a lot of white jerseys out there, a lot of pulling players from one side to the other, from the left to the right for Churchill. They spot the ball out at the 28. Pickup of 7.
it feels like when you watch Posse run, he just has an army of blockers in front of him. There's not a lot of defenders on the outside, and he's found a lot of success with that mesh read.
Xander Mafati, the center, will snap it back in shotgun, delayed handoff out to the far side, stretching it. Posse will be taken out of bounds. He's ridden out by Byron Irving, but one penalty flag was out in the area of holding. Now another penalty flag comes out at the end of the play, and we'll wait to see what both of these flags are about, as we didn't have much for Laundry in the first half, but we're getting a little bit more here to start the second.
Certainly, and they're discussing this right now. Looked like a holding call, and then the way that the second flag came in, you got to think it might be on Roseburg in that situation just because it came from the backside of the field.
Yeah, and it came around the time the play was coming to an end, so that's kind of what I was thinking too. And they may be figuring out offsetting penalties maybe. Still waiting on the call here while we've got a moment and a break in the action. I'll let you know tonight's game brought to you by Centennial Orthopedics. Sports injuries and more. It's your move. Visit centennialorthopodiatry.com. Here comes the call. It is a hold against Churchill. And then personal foul against Roseburg.
And that was after the play. So they're going to back it up 10 yards and then move it forward 15, I think.
So they mark it off from the 30 on the hold for a 10-yard penalty. But then Roseburg from the 30 will get hit with the 15-yard penalty, or from the 20, and they'll put it out to the 35. So, and I think it's going to be a first down. Yeah, that'll be a first down after all of that. I'd be curious what the personal foul was against Roseburg. If it was a late hit out of bounds, they took the defender, they took Posse across the sideline, but he's going to get it here. And boy, is he ready to run. He goes sprinting up the middle, one jump stop and a cut, and he got upfield quick out to the 40-yard line and pick up a 5 for Seville Posse. And boy, he was, I think, 1 second away from breaking that one loose.
It just feels like every time he touches the ball, he has a chance to go to the end zone. He just seems so dynamic with the ball in his hand. He can break tackles. He can maneuver through traffic. He can read offensive lines and defensive lines exceptionally well.
He's got blockers in front of him. He tries to make the cut back to the middle of the field and gets spun down as Brayson Parker comes up. His name called once again. The defensive lineman has been there on the backside coverage a few different times as they run away from him. He makes the stop, but it's a gain of a couple. Makes it 3rd down and 2.
And this is a big play for Roseburg's defense right here. You have a 3rd down situation. You have a chance to get off the field here. Already we've seen almost 3 minutes taken off the clock on this short little drive just from the 10-yard line up until this point.
9:02 and counting. Churchill facing 3rd and short. Going to run it up the middle, and it's Posse still on his feet as he continues to. He is determined to not go down. And he gets it out to the 49-yard line, moves the chains as he picks up 6 and only needed 3 to move him.
That's what he does. He just takes up space, and it feels like he just drives his feet forward. It feels like every time he's falling forward instead of backwards, and there haven't been too many times where he's gotten the ball and carried it less than a yard.
Ball near midfield, 8-6 our score. Churchill in front of Roseburg by the 2-point conversion. They go on the double handoff again, and there to read it was Roseburg on 1st and 10. They'll gain 2 yards as they flip the field to the 49 on Roseburg's half. Babbitt with a short carry. But Roseburg on that play, we saw it, like you said, we watched highlights last week against Springfield, saw it go for a touchdown. Roseburg, for the most part, has sniffed that one out.
No doubt, and we've seen it on the other side, too. Roseburg last week drew a lot of penalties with that double motion where they motioned the running back behind the quarterback and then would motion him back, drew a lot of encroachments. Churchill today came prepared for that. We've seen good film sessions from both sides.
Looking to pass, couple of receivers down there. It's caught out in the flats by one of the tight ends. Out to the outside, taking on contact, and a good job by the Roseburg secondary to make sure that Kinsley Roberts did not stay on his feet. but boy, oh boy, was he hard to bring down as he was wide open and takes it to the 11-yard line. That is a pickup of 38 through the air, and it's first down and 10 from the 11, and Churchill in scoring distance.
It's the first completion in a long time for Lucas Ganson, who's now over 100 yards. 118 yards on just 3 passing completions for Ganson.
Clock continues to run at 7:25 here in the third quarter. Shotgun snap to Ganson, hands it off to Passy. Started right, goes back to the left. He's got one man to beat as he dives for the goal line. He's in. Touchdown, Churchill.
And he is just legit. Lowers the shoulder, gets to the pylon. It's the friendly call like we saw from Corey Kimball last week with that far pylon. But posse again, it's just been a posse into the end zone the entirety of this game, it feels like, at least down the field. Now up to 133 yards, and he was a big reason why Churchill was able to drive on that opening drive here in the second half.
His first score of the night, looking to go for 2, throw over the middle, ball tipped up. It goes off of 2 receivers' hands for Churchill, but they can't secure it. Penalty flag came out at the end, and one of the officials got knocked over as the play kind of came his direction. But that is not the penalty flag. The penalty is out. It might be against Churchill. They're headed to the sideline. It is a hold against Churchill. They're going to decline the penalty, and the try is no good. So the pass fails, and with 7:15 to go in the third quarter, it is 14-6. Churchill in front of Roseburg. We'll come back after a 30-second timeout on 541radio.com and on the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
At Douglas County Farmers Co-op, we want your four-legged friends to be healthy and happy. That's why we stock a carefully curated selection of pet, equine, and livestock supplies. From the premium foods your pets crave to grooming and show supplies that help you shine in the show ring, you'll find it at Douglas County Farmers Co-op. Our knowledgeable staff are here to help with those tough pet and livestock care questions. Stop by or shop at DouglasCountyFarmersCoop.com.
Kickoff coming here for Churchill, leading by 8. Toe punch goes to the far sideline. Will settle down at the 11 where it is picked up by Roseburg. Couple of cuts trying to get upfield, but tracked down and taken down. And a penalty flag out at the end of the play. They're going to give him, I think, out to the 18-19 yard line on the return for Roseburg, but we'll wait to see where the penalty flag will finish this one out. He's down at the 18-yard line, the return man for Roseburg.
Certainly seen, it feels like, more penalties in this second half than we did the entirety of that first half.
Agreed. Guys maybe starting to wear down. It's week 2 for Roseburg, week 3 for Churchill as they played in week 0. It is a foul against the Lancers. So that'll move the ball forward for Roseburg, a beneficial moment there. So that will put Roseburg out to the 33-yard line on the penalty. That is the third penalty on Churchill here in the second half. Under center goes Kimball. Roseburg trying to answer on the opening touchdown for Churchill. A penalty flag out, and before the snap was officially underway, Roseburg will have a false start. And they did snap it and get the play off, but the whistles were stopping the play as it happened.
You just can't take a penalty like that. I mean, you just got a penalty in your favor. You get good field position all the way up to the 33-yard line, and now you put yourself back behind the sticks, facing a 1st and 15, and you're a run-first offense.
Yeah, that's a tough break there for the Tribe. Back to the 28-yard line, trailing by 8. 7:08 to go in the third quarter here at Finlay Field at Roseburg High School. In motion, fumble on the snap, and Kimball just jumps on it, and this is not the start to the second half the Indians were hoping for.
Not at all. And Kimball, who was just such a stud last week offensively on the ground, he's just struggled here today. Just 3 total yards on 7 carries.
Loses one there on the fumbled snap back to the 27-yard line. So now Roseburg facing 2nd down and 16. Out to the left side of the formation, Stedman. St. Clair out to the right side. 2 backs either side of the offensive line. In motion is Burwell, looking to pass. Now scrambling out of the pocket. Gets a block, throw downfield. It's incomplete, and it's basically a throwaway down that far sideline. It was a nice job by, I didn't see who it was, but one of the Roseburg players providing a block for Kimball to get him out to the sideline and give him an extra moment to be able to throw that ball away.
Just been a terrible start for this Roseburg offense, especially after what we saw from them in the first half with that response after the Churchill touchdown. This one, you get good field position, penalty, bobbled snap, and now an incompletion, and you look up and it's 3rd and 16, trailing by 8.
They've put themselves in a tough spot here. Got to get it to the 43-yard line. They're going to run it, and confusion on the handoff. And this offense has suddenly lost itself. Uraguin hanging on to the football. Kimball not giving it up. And miscommunication, or just kind of indecision on the mesh point there. And Roseburg gets 1 yard out of a 3rd down and 16 play. And now it's 4th and 15, and they are forced to punt. And I don't think you could have drawn up a kind of series of events here for Roseburg that goes pretty much 180 degrees opposite of what they wanted to see. Kick is away by Michael. It's another good one. It'll take a bounce. It'll take a Roseburg hop down the field and inside the 20. A nice job there. The return man, TJ Wright, almost got in the way and almost touched it. Roseburg had McLean Stedman there to try and get on top of it. He'll down the football. So a great punt to flip the field for Jacob Michael. But Roseburg offensively unable to do anything. 5:35 to go in the 3rd quarter. Churchill with an 8-point lead will have the football deep in their own territory starting at their own 15. Tonight's ball game is brought to you by Bricks Grill and Chill. Order online for breakfast, lunch, or dinner. Visit bricksgrillroseburg.com. So here comes the second offensive session for Churchill in the second half. The Lancers with an 8-point lead. 1st down and 10 from their own 15. Ganson will move guys around in the backfield. Going to the left side of the line on the end is Babbitt. They move Michael to the left side, and they're going to run that way with Passy. He makes the first man miss, gets hit from behind, gets stood up, and Roseburg gang tackling. That's one thing they've done well. It's a gain of 5, though. First man missed, and Posse able to find his way downfield.
How many times today do you feel like you've said Posse makes a man miss? Because it just feels like every single time he touches the ball, that's exactly what he does.
It has been a lot, that is for sure. Football at the 20-yard line. And they go on the double handoff again, but once again it is snuffed out in the middle of the offensive line. And the ball carrier once again was Babbitt. He took it to the about 21 and a half is kind of where it looks like they spot this football. So the 21-yard line, a pickup of 1 for Babbitt on that carry. And Churchill facing 3rd down and 3, and it just, not that it hasn't been all game, but it's Seville Posse time.
No doubt. And you just got to get 3. Just keep the 3 yards right here if you're Roseburg's defense. But it's a tough task. He's falling forward. Got to pull him backwards.
They move a couple of guys in motion. They'll run with all the blockers. Posse follows all of them, finds enough space, and he high steps his way through the middle of the offense, and he gets out to the 28-yard line. Roseburg had a couple of guys dinged up, but they get up and will stay out on the field. Trey Burwell and Tyler Reitman, it looked like both were a little slow to get up, but a 1st down carry for Seville Posse.
That's what he's been doing all game long.
Football gets out to the 28. It was a pickup of 7. Keeps the clock running and keeps the drive going for Churchill. 1st down and 10, ball in the middle of the field. Fake the handoff to him, looking downfield. A lot of options, and hit as he catches it. Byron Irvin comes up, makes a big stick on Lucas Babbitt, but the receiver hangs on to the football. And that'll move the chains out towards midfield, out to the 43. And it's just like Roseburg stacks the box, and then they have guys run routes, and there's just too many guys to cover with the guys back there defensively for the Indians.
Exactly. That's the problem, is that you're putting all your eggs in one basket trying to stop Posse and just his amazing rushing attack here tonight. And all of a sudden you look up and they're throwing over your head.
Here comes Posse again, running over the right side, but he gets tangled up in the backfield. Did not make a man miss this time. Roseburg gets back there. Stedman, it looks like Brayson Parker, I think, was the guy that really messed things up in the backfield for Churchill. Did a nice job of stuffing the gap and then filling the hole and letting the defense help him out on the play. Gain of no yards, back to the line of scrimmage for Posse. It'll be 2nd and 10.
24 carries now for Posse.
He'll get it again here. Goes on the counter, back over the left side. And Roseburg, I mean, when they can get enough guys there, they're able to bring him down, and they're able to get somebody there usually pretty quickly. But that somebody needs more to be able to bring down Seville Posse. It's not one guy that's bringing him down, and that's been the problem, is that Roseburg, it sometimes has taken the second wave of defensive players to get there just a bit too long to stop him before he gains 5 yards.
And sometimes they're in the right position. He just makes 2 or 3 men miss by just a few moves. I mean, he's just that dynamic of a runner.
2:39 and counting. It's 3rd down and 10 as it was another run of no gain, looking to pass. Looking out in the flats. That's a backwards pass. Roseburg should jump on it. It's Posse that gets it. Now they need to stop him. They'll take him across the sideline and out at the 35-yard line. It'll be 4th down and a backwards pass. Roseburg able to come up and stop Posse after he picked up what would be a fumble. And it'll be a loss of yardage on the play for Churchill. And it goes back to the 35-yard line. That's a loss of 8, and it forces 4th down and 18.
That's the first time today Posse has had a negative yardage play.
Well, he has been very good, and that one not his fault by any stretch of the imagination. But Roseburg, maybe thinking it was an incomplete pass, could have had an opportunity to try and run and get to that ball. I don't know if they would have been able to take it away, but you would have liked to have seen him recognize that a little faster. Punt coming here. Last time it was a tough snap. This time better. Kick away from Michael. It's a high kick. Calling for a fair catch. That is Paxton Burke. He'll take it at the 30-yard line. And Roseburg will have the football after they force the punt. And we've got a man down for the Lancers. Titan Nagel looks like he might be cramping a little bit, but he is down face first into the turf. And the athletic trainers will head on out there. Lindsey Cockerham from Roseburg will go out there along with the athletic trainer Sidney Donnelly for Churchill. Lindsey asked me once again to give a shout out to Centennial Orthopedics. Their doctors helping out the Roseburg athletic department throughout the season. So we want to just give them a little extra shout out there for a thank you on all that they do. Roseburg forces the punt. They've got the football at their own 30-yard line, trailing by 8. 2:20 to go here in the 3rd quarter. I did want to pass along a couple of other notes here. Tonight is Military Appreciation Night here at Roseburg. We saw a lot of red, white, and blue stripes out there. Roseburg is honoring 4 local veterans who have served our country. They will be awarded plaques made by students in our career technical department during halftime. This is from Miss Bartlett, one of the teachers here at Roseburg High School. So when I said our, it's Roseburg High Schools. A shout out to Miss Alicia Hunt and Miss Bryn Pitts, who have coordinated tonight's efforts to honor the military. Also, RHS students can arrive to football games early. If you know an RHS student, unfortunately, this does look a little more serious than cramping for Titan Nagel, by the way. He's getting help getting off the field. But Roseburg students, if you want to come on out to a football game, a home one, show up early. They've got food, music, and games to hang out with your peers at the leadership-sponsored tailgates that start at 5:30 behind the grandstands, the home grandstands here at the football field, kind of next to the softball field. Beverages are provided by Coca-Cola, and Young Life donates pizza. Come on out for the next tailgate on September 27th. The theme will be neon that night, by the way, so plan accordingly, Knight.
Sounds good.
All righty. 1st down and 10 for Roseburg. 2:20 to go here in the 3rd quarter. Along with Knight Ureski, I'm Joey Kieran. Under center, Corey Kimball trying to get something started offensively here in the second half for the Indians. He'll pitch it to Burwell, Ryan on the right side, but sniffed out immediately by the Lancers. Churchill in the backfield. Roseburg did not have the blockers they needed, and back to the 25-yard line, a loss of 5 for Dre Burwell on the pitch.
This offense has just gone backwards here in the second half. Really impressive stuff from the Lancers in the second half, but you got to put it in drive. You can't go reverse.
Well, we heard the message from Coach Watson this week was that they can't drive down the road looking in the rearview mirror, living off of last week's victory. They got to keep looking forward, and they're trying to get something going here as it's a keeper for Kimball. He goes over the right side, got tripped up, and won't get much. The football will get to the 28, a pickup of 3 on the ground for Corey Kimball. And when it was second down and 15, it's not quite enough. That puts them behind the sticks for third down and long.
At least there's positive yardage. I mean, that's what you got to look at right here. It feels like everything in the second half has gone Churchill's way. You can see the energy on the Lancers sideline. They're getting pretty animated. They're getting pretty fired up. They're ready to close this one out. Roseburg needs to take a shot here on 3rd and 12.
Austin to the right side of the line. Simpson in the backfield. 2 targets to the left side. That's Stedman and St. Clair. They're going to pass it out to St. Clair. Dane with it. Makes a cut to the sideline, getting some great blocking. And I mentioned that was Stedman. I think it's actually that is Noah Nelson that was in as a blocker. Did a nice job helping clear some pathway for Dane St. Clair. And it is so close. He was a yard shy of the first down marker. And Roseburg's going to face 4th down and 1 from their own 39-yard line. It was a pickup of 11 on the reception for St. Clair. And look at this, the offense still on the field. They put in the Landon Simpson in the backfield. It's a keeper for Kimball. He's a big quarterback, and he muscles his way across to the 41. The quarterback sneak takes it for a first down, Roseburg.
That's what you need to do. You know, I was talking about it a little bit earlier. They did it on 3rd and 3, that quarterback keeper up the middle. And when you have a quarterback like Corey Kimball, he can find success that way, and I think that's the right decision. It's a close game. You're still in it. Clock's ticking right now, but you're only down by a touchdown plus a 2-point conversion, and you need to get those short yardage conversions like there.
Kimball moves the chain, sets Roseburg up as the clock ticks down. 25 seconds to go in the third quarter. And handed off, Simpson running over the right side, and the ball came out. I think it was taken away by Churchill. What's the call here? Churchill, they had it out of the pile.
Roseburg's defense is coming on the
field. Roseburg thinks it's a turnover, but I'm not sure if that's what the officials are calling. The ball went to about the 42.
The refs are saying get off the field.
The officials will confer here. If I was being honest, I think he got the ball out before, unless they credit him with forward momentum being stopped. It's a turnover. Fumble on Roseburg. Simpson loses a handle on it, and it is taken away, I believe. On that fumble recovery will be Aiden Pangilinan, who takes the ball away for Roseburg at the 42-yard line.
Brutal.
That is tough. Roseburg started to find some offensive motion and just stripped right out of the hands of Simpson. Pangilinan gets the takeaway. So Churchill will have it short field with 16 seconds to go in the third quarter, leading by 8. They have it at the Roseburg 36-yard line on the right side. Posse just keeps shedding defender after defender as he stretches it for about a 5-yard gain.
Just like rolls off everybody. It's incredible.
The pickup goes down to the 32-yard line, so it was a run of 4 for Seville Posse. 9.5 seconds to go in the third quarter. In shotgun, Ganson moves Babbitt into the backfield, faked a couple of handoffs. No, it's not Ganson. It's going to be right on the Wildcat. Runs left side, stiff arm, falls forward towards the sticks. He'll end up a yard shy with 2.2 to go in the third quarter as he gets to the 27, picking up 5.
So Wildcat once again, and Wright using his speed to that outside. Again, third down right here for Roseburg. They've done a really good job on Posse in the second half. In fact, in this second half, just 38 yards on 11 carries for Posse.
Kind of thought maybe they were going to wind the clock, but they haven't done it. The ball is spotted down. Churchill is going to get one more play here before the end of the third quarter on third down and a yard. It's Posse left side. The horn will sound as Posse takes it into the red zone for a first down. He'll take it to the 19-yard line, a pickup of 8. And it'll be 1st and 10 from the red zone for Churchill when we come back for the fourth quarter after this 1-minute timeout on 541radio.com and on the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
Quality Fences, doing it right for you. Just ask your neighbor. Fences, doing it right for you.
Minutes on the board. Final period of play. Roseburg down by 8, but Churchill trying to take advantage of a second takeaway on the night. They have the ball in the red zone, 1st and 10. They hand it off to Seville Posse. A penalty flag out from deep downfield on a run that was good for about 5 yards. We'll see if it stands for Seville Posse. Welcome you back here into the booth at Finlay Field. Tonight's game brought to you by McClendon Smokehouse. While we wait on the call, also tell you tonight's game sponsored by Gibbs RV Superstore. You gotta get to Gibbs. And by Palm Wealth Management, a member of D.A. Davidson and Company, member SIPC. Penalty's going to go against Roseburg.
Face mask. It's a brutal penalty.
From the 14, they'll walk it off from there. So Roseburg's penalty will should be half the distance to the goal line, I would imagine, down to the 7. And it'll be 1st and goal for Churchill. Seville Posse has one touchdown run already. He's going to get it here, makes one cut, gets met in the middle, but couldn't square him up was Tyler Reitman, and bouncing off of bodies, Posse goes down to the just inside the 5. I think they're going to spot him down at the 5, a carry of 2 for the senior back. Tyler Reitman was right there. He met him in the gap, but he just couldn't square him up. And that's been, I mean, for a guy that's that big, that's one of the problems, is that he's just hard to kind of get a clean lick on because he is very shifty.
Feels like it takes 2 to 3 players to try to bring him down.
He's going to get it here, going right side. A shifty move back to his left, and he walks across the goal line for a touchdown. Churchill stretches it out, 20-6 our score here early going to the fourth quarter.
159 yards, 2 TDs for Seville Posse, and he just does what he does. Finds the end zone once again, and he is just so dynamic with the ball in his hand, able to make a man miss, and finds his way into Painter.
Second touchdown run of the night for him, this time from 5 yards out. Now here comes the 2-point try. They have not tried to kick a 2-point conversion. Or they have not tried to kick a PAT, I should say. Here comes the run attempt, and actually they'll pass out into the flats. Caught, made, and into the end zone is Dexter. Charlie Dexter will get the pass from Ganson for the 2-point try. And with that, it is now 22-6, Churchill in front. And the way things have been going tonight, that's a comfortable lead here in the fourth quarter. 11-12 to play in the period and in the ball game. We'll take a 30-second timeout here on 541radio.com and on the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
In today's big box store, how-to YouTube video world, it is hard to do it yourself. If you're fixing your fence or putting in a new one, the only place to start is Quality Fence. We stock almost anything you need and take the time to show you how to really do it yourself. Visit the Quality Fence showroom in Roseburg and get great fencing ideas at qualityfenceco.com.
Quality Fences, doing it right for you.
Kickoff coming here for the Lancers. The boot away. Angled to the sideline. Rolls down to about the 7. Picked up the near sideline at the numbers. Taking on contact and going across the 20. Byron Irving on the return. And Roseburg will have it out of the shadow of their own end zone, out to the 22-yard line, and a man down for Churchill at the end of the kickoff return. Tonight's ball game has been sponsored by B&S Automotive. B&S Automotive Services believes in the no BS approach. Say goodbye to the runaround and hello to honest, reliable service with B&S Automotive Services. And tonight's game sponsored by Abby's Legendary Pizza, a legendary pizza tradition. 11:07 to go in the contest. Roseburg will have the ball at their own 22 as they are stretching out a Churchill player. Looks like some cramping, and that is Kingsley Roberts, who is having the hydration issue there.
You see Roseburg's offense race to the line of scrimmage saying, go, 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 and the refs had to stop him.
Sorry, the trainer is still on the field there, fellas.
That's good to see. The focus is on just getting to the line of scrimmage and trying to get the ball down the field.
Well, they are, the way things are moving tonight, neither team has been moving quickly down the field. So Roseburg, with 11:07 to go in the ball game, they've got to kind of pick up the pace and get some chunk yardage here. Some audibles called out here by Kimball as he heads under center, looks at the wristband. He's got Uragwin behind him. 2 targets to the wide side of the field, left of the formation. Pass it out that direction. Catch made out there, weaving his way, ducking his head, going up. The ball came out at the end of the play, it looks like. And I think Stedman got back on top of it, collected his own fumble after the catch. Picked up good yardage out to the 27, a pickup of 7 on first down for the Indians. Actually, sorry, make that 5. They had gotten out to the 22. 2nd down and 5. Ball now on the left hash mark. They'll spread out 2 guys to the right side of the formation. Stedman in the slot. Out wide is Nelson. 2 backs to either side of the line. Uragwin behind Kimball. Move a man in motion. Give it to Uragwin. No keeper for Kimball. Goes around the right side. Gets a little help on the push from behind. Carson Tyler getting in there trying to help Kimball move a little further downfield. And it's going to be close to the first down marker. Right now they are spotting it at about the 32, and it is a first down. They'll give Roseburg it at the 33. So a pickup of 6 on the carry by Kimball, and he moves the chains.
Need more of that, but you need to score pretty quick here in this situation. You're down by 2 touchdowns. Under 10 minutes to play. You can't just keep getting run plays up the middle. You got to start stretching the ball down the field.
And just with knowing that you might give the ball back to this Churchill team, even if you score, they can wear down the clock with their running game. Roseburg will run it again up the middle, going over the top of the pile is Uragwin, not hurdling the pile like we saw earlier in the game. Uragwin just kind of leaping head first, trying to get over the top of a couple of bodies in front of him. He gets it to the 36, picking up 3.
It just doesn't seem like there's a lot of urgency. Seems like they're just content taking their time, marching the ball down the field.
Running their base offense here at the moment, it feels. St. Clair out to the right side. 1 man out to the far side of the field. That is Stedman. And it might have been a bobbled snap. And on top of it is Kimball. Right back at the line of scrimmage. He'll actually lose a little bit of yardage back to the 35 on the fumbled snap. So that'll be definitely something to continue to work on in the practice this next week, is that center quarterback exchange.
We saw that a little bit last week as well. And, you know, even though they won 41-7, it wasn't clean. There was a lot to kind of clean up, and it feels like this game has been a little bit cleaner for Roseburg. Certainly not in the second half, but overall it feels like a cleaner game even though they're trailing right now.
They're facing 3rd down and 8. Need to get it to the 43-yard line for the first down. And the ball at the 35. Couple of fake handoffs, and the Churchill Lancers sniffed that one out perfect. Right in the running lane. Ryder Nagel, he was right there, and it was like running into a brick wall for Caden Austin. And boy, oh boy, did he pay the price. He loses one back to the 34, and Roseburg going the wrong direction, facing now 3rd down, or make that 4th down and long.
That was a massive hit. Oh, my goodness. You said it right. It was like running into a brick wall.
The offense is going to stay on the field. Roseburg knows if they give it back to Churchill, they may not see the football again here tonight, so they've got to try and do something with it. They've got 4th down and 9. Again, they need to get it to the 43. They're at the 34. Kimball is under center. Simpson behind him. Passing down, looking downfield. Got a couple of men in the same spot. Pressure, throws it away. It's almost at a defender and just a bit short in the area of Lucas Babbitt, who could have had a pick 6 if it had a little bit more mustard on it. But the defense holds for Churchill, and the incompletion will be a turnover on downs. And Roseburg's offense just tonight has had a hard time against this Churchill defense that has been smothering.
Certainly has. Kimball's been up and down, 11 attempts here today, 63 yards. Just haven't really had everything click at the same time.
Turnover on downs. Churchill gets the ball at the Roseburg 34, and right now they are just looking to ice this one away. They lead by 22-6 with 7.5 to play, and they can milk the clock, that's for sure. Seville Posse looking to add to a big night, but no, looking to pass. Ganson rolls out to the right, goes way downfield. That ball tipped out of the hands of the intended receiver. Close coverage downfield there by Roseburg. Nelson in coverage against TJ Wright, and that was some good defense there from Roseburg, and just able to put enough pressure on the receiver to make it a tough catch.
A little bit surprised to see that out of Churchill. You'd think up 2 touchdowns, 7:24. You're going to try to run the ball to try to run out the clock and seal this victory. Instead, taking a shot on 1st down.
They were looking to try and see if they could catch Roseburg off guard with that one as well. It'll be 2nd down and 10. Clock stopped on the incompletion, 7:24 to play. Ganson in shotgun with Posse to his right. Posse will give the second handoff, and this time it works. Running back over the left side, still on his feet after a stiff arm. Here comes a whole host of black jerseys, and finding a way to somehow spit out of the middle of the pile and dive forward was the ball carrier, and that is Aiden Pangilinan. I don't know how he popped out of that pile at the end.
It feels like that's been the case for several players for Churchill today. It feels like Roseburg's getting in the right spots. It's just not cleaning up the tackles.
There's a pickup of 10 for a 1st down for Pangilinan. Now running Posse to the far side, just stretch play, angles to the sideline, gets the edge to the goal line. He's in. Touchdown, Churchill.
There he is again. Posse. She's able to find the end zone, and man, is he dynamic.
Touchdown run, 3rd of the night for Seville Posse. And this time he runs it in from 24 yards out. And now the 2-point try for Churchill as they lead this one 28-6. They will set up with Ganson under center for the 2-point try, and a timeout's going to be taken by Churchill. They're going to take the timeout before the 2-point try. Let's go ahead and get in a 30-second timeout here on 541radio.com. Actually, no, wait, we're going to keep it right here, and why don't we do this? Let's pause for 10 seconds for station identification. Get that in. We'll wait to take the timeout after the 2-point try here from Churchill. Pause 10 seconds for station identification. This is Roseburg football on The Score. Been a slow-moving game, a lot of running, a lot of, we expected maybe things to move quick because of the amount of running, but it's been a methodical game here tonight, and Churchill, that has been their game, and it's been working for them. Roseburg's offense, unfortunately, against this tough defense. I would really say the offense for Churchill has been good. but the defense has been the reason why they are winning this one by 22 right now.
Yeah. It's been a complete effort, it feels like.
I think Roseburg's defense has just been on the field a lot, and they are wearing down against this grind-them-out offense from the Lancers. Fake the handoff, looking to pass for the two-point try. Man open in the end zone. The score is good. TJ Wright on the two-point conversion. And with that, Churchill extends the lead to make it 30-6. We'll come back after a 30-second timeout here on 541radio.com and on the score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
My wife and I moved to Oregon to raise a family, set our roots, and to have a lot of fun outdoors. We quickly realized that we needed a truck or a rig for the projects that we were doing in the backyard. When we were looking to find a place to finance our truck, we asked our patients, and everyone recommended Cascade Community Credit Union. It was so easy to work with Cascade. Everything was done via email, phone, and we didn't even need to go in. I can't wait to finish up the projects in the backyard, go on more adventures in our truck with our boys, and I look forward to working with Cascade again in the future.
Roseburg football tonight here on The Score is brought to you by Tim's Appliance and Mattress. Fall into savings at the Harvard branch or visit the outlet store downtown for more great deals. Tim's Appliance and Mattress. Kickoff away. Taken through the hands of the up man for Roseburg at the 15 and just having to jump on the football. Just a few more miscues there by the Indians. They're going to have to settle for having the ball at their own 9-yard line after the kickoff.
Just feels like a lot of mistakes in the second half.
Well, feeling a little bit of pressure, maybe tightening up a little bit, trying to figure out how to make things go. And it seems as if Roseburg getting a little bit of jitters or maybe a little rust or just trying to break into this season, but hopefully learning opportunities they can build off of going into next week when they are going to have a tough test on the road against Crater. First time on the road for Roseburg. Crater was tied with Springfield at halftime in that game when we last heard a score, 21-21 in that one. Under center will go the quarterback, Corey Kimball, for Roseburg, starting at their own 9-yard line. Gibby will get it to him. Kimball looking to pass. Pressure came. He threw it over the middle. Didn't have enough on it as he got hit as he was throwing. It was intended target was downfield. That was Burwell downfield he was looking for, but just no zip behind it as he was hit as he was throwing.
Not a lot of time today for Kimball.
That just looked like a free rusher coming through there that just not picked up. Second down and 10 after the incompletion. Clock stops at 6:42. Spread Stedman out wide to the far side of the field. Austin out in the slot. One target to the right side of the formation. They're going to go with a run. It's Kimball on the keeper. He sheds a couple of tacklers, tries to bounce it out to the far side of the hash. Penalty flag out. And boy, we were talking about Roseburg gang tackling. This Churchill team does as well. And it kept feeling like Kimball was going to shed enough guys to find some open ground, but he's just wave after wave trying to bring him down. It's a face mask against Churchill, though. So at the end of the play, which got out to the 13-yard line, a pickup of 4 on the ground game for Kimball, and then a penalty on Churchill to help the Indians get out of the shadow of their own end zone. Going to walk the ball out to the 28.
It's finally something that's going Roseburg's way in the second half, it feels like. Maybe this is the burst they need.
Well, hopefully finish strong and be able to take some momentum into this next week of practice. And you never know, maybe something miraculously happens here late in this one. 6:22 to go. Looking to pass, some pressure. Kimball swallowed up. A penalty flag is out from the near sideline. Kimball got taken all the way back inside to the 15, but they'll mark his loss of momentum at the 20. So as it stands right now, it'll be a 20 or an 8-yard loss. And apparently they're going to wave off the flag.
I felt so bad. It felt like there was 5 Churchill players right there, and Kimball was the only black jersey in distance.
So a loss of 8 on the sack for Churchill. Back to the 20-yard line. Second down and make that 18. Knight Uresi is going to be heading down to the sideline here in just a little while to get a post-game reaction from head coach Matt Watson. Austin in motion. They hand it off right side. Things were wide open. A nice hole, nice running lane there for Carson Uraguin, but he only picks up about 5 of the 8 yards that were lost, and it's out to the 26-yard line, a pickup of 6. And Roseburg facing 3rd down and 12.
Uraguin today, 8 carries, 20 yards. Just really hasn't found a lot of success.
Hasn't been a lot of room. These linebackers have been active. The front line has been good for Churchill. This team is tough to move the ball on. It'll be interesting to see how the rest of their season goes. Kimball under center. Behind him, Uraguin. Looking to pass. A little bit of time. Goes downfield, but short arms one to Austin. Had him open, and it would have been close to the 1st down, but he didn't get the pass there.
I think it's just, again, that pressure from Churchill that has been there all day long. Kimball a little bit hurried on his throw and just short-armed it like you said.
Stick around in the post-game show. We'll be recapping this one, and again, we'll have the conversation with Coach Matt Watson down on the sideline. So stay tuned for his thoughts after this one. Looking to be the first loss of the season for Roseburg. Big boot from Jacob Michael on 4th down and 12. They punt it. That ball got away. And the ball, it's taken away by Roseburg. Caden Luther got on top of it. It's Roseburg football down at the 26-yard line. It went through the hands of the return man. Loose ball. Luther got in there, and he ended up being the guy that came away with it. I thought Churchill had it. There was a man that was there ahead of him, but the ball just must have squirted free, and somehow Caden Luther comes up with it on the punt, the muffed punt.
Back-to-back weeks that he's come away with the ball on a punt attempt. And, you know, here I am in the back of my mind going, why are they punting the ball right now? You're down right now 30-6. Might as well go for it. You have nothing else to lose. But, I mean, that works out.
Yeah, that will work. The fumble will be by T.J. Wright. And with this fumble recovery is Caden Luther. So Roseburg will have the ball at the Churchill 26, getting the advantage of that, and now they're almost going to try to give it back. The ball is loose. Who's going to come away with this one? Roseburg still has it. Corey Kimball got tied up on the option play, and he had the pitch man out there open, but he had a defender all over him, and Kimball probably made the ill-advised idea of trying to pitch that ball with a defender wrapped around you, and that ended up with the ball on the turf. Roseburg jumps back on it, but they lose the yardage back to the 31. That's a loss of 5.
Yeah, Caden Austin came up with it. Huge play by Austin just to land on top of the egg.
4:18 and counting. Running the ball. They're going to try to pitch. No, it's the pass. Halfback pass down the field, and a mix-up down there. Trying to turn and get back to the ball was Dane St. Clair in front of him. The defender out there in coverage, Nick Miller. He's able to get there and help knock that ball away. And so it'll be an incompletion. That'll go as an incompletion for Caden Austin. And it'll make it 3rd down and 15. So they got to try to, I mean, this has got to be 4-down territory here with 4:09 to go. They're going to run the ball. It is up the left side of the offense for Landon Simpson. And Churchill trying to stand him up, see if they could rip the ball free, but Simpson hangs on to it. He did have a fumble earlier. He got the ball to the 25-yard line. There is a penalty flag out. It came from the back judge. We'll see what the call is down there. Waiting on the officials to give us a sign. Tonight's game has been brought to you by Bowers Industrial, a proud supporter of our local community and our local youth sports. We want to say thank you to the Cow Creek Tribe for sponsoring our live video coverage of Roseburg High School sports here on The Score at 541radio.com and on our YouTube channel, this 1490 The Score. We'll have a live stream of next week's game from Crater High School. The ball was at the 25 after the run, and they're going to call a hold on Roseburg. So they're going to back the football back up all the way out to the 40-yard line. So the penalty will take Roseburg way back towards midfield. And they will have third down once again. And it is third down and got to get it to Green. The ball needs to get to the 16-yard line. Under center is Kimball. And they are going to run the option. Kimball goes on the dive over the right side of the center, down to the 36. Picked up 4 on the carry, but it is fourth down and long, and Roseburg just looking like they're trying to get the clock moving. Knight Ureski's down on the field now with the wireless mic in tote. And Knight, fans still down there filling up the stands. We were expecting a full parking lot, so we were expecting full grandstands down there.
Yeah, absolutely full grandstands. Not a ton of empty space. I'm honestly really impressed with the crowd here tonight. The student section's completely packed. It's filled to the brim. You can see the band. They're still energetic. The entire student section's still excited right now, which is the good news.
Fourth down, and the offense is on the field, and Roseburg's just going to run the option again. Late pitch out to Dre Burwell, who lowers his shoulder into the defender, barrels his way, and Burwell's going to get flagged for a personal foul at the end of that one, I think for taunting.
Yeah, he had some words for him.
He got the ball to the 20. It was a pickup of 16 on the carry for Burwell. But a little extra chipping. It looks like Coach Matt Watson not excited about that call.
He's getting the explanation right now, and it feels like he was like, I don't know, it could go 50-50, but obviously not going his way.
Clock stops with 2:57 to play. The officials are talking about it here. It was going to be turnover on downs at the 25. I said at the 20. It was at the 25, which would make it a pickup of only 11 for Burwell. So Burwell with that carry of 11 yards has 15 yards on the night. Turnover on downs for Roseburg. And with 2:57 to go in the contest, Churchill will take over at their own. Well, after the penalty, they will spot the football out at the 40. So Churchill football looking to wear off the final 3 minutes of this ball game. 2:57 left to go before this one is done. It is a comfortable 30-6 lead for the Lancers on top of the Indians. And it'll be back to the drawing board for Roseburg for week 3 at Crater. Seville Posse, nowhere to find a room or a seam to run there. Nice job by the Roseburg linebackers. Tyler Reitman stepping in there along with Spencer Bingham.
You kind of love to see the effort right now from this Roseburg team. I mean, you are down by a substantial amount with not a lot left on the clock, but you can just see the energy on the sideline and on the field right now. It just feels like everybody is still a little bit energized, which is good. It doesn't feel like they're out of the fight right now. It still feels like every play matters for this team.
So it was a loss of 1. It'll be second down and 11. That is Newman out there running the football, takes it through the middle. So Seville Posse, I think we had him down for 178 yards. Lost the 1 there. Newman in there running the football. That is Asa Krebs on the carry. He took it for 6 yards out to the 45-yard line. Krebs with his first carry of the night. As we start to get some new guys into the ballgame for Churchill. Looking to hand the ball off. Ganson, nope, keeps it himself. Quarterback keeper up the middle. He barrels his way through, gets credit out to the 48-yard line, picking up 3. The quarterback, Lucas Ganson, only had a couple of carries tonight. Picks up 3 there. 2 carries, 5 yards total in this one. Clock running down, under a minute to go, 30-6. Fans are starting to make their way over. I hope they'll continue to do the tunnel that they've done for Roseburg, even in a defeat here tonight. But
I mean, it looks like they're heading that direction. We'll just have to wait and see.
Tough one here tonight for the Tribe, learning some lessons in first year under new head coach Matt Watson. It is a carry into Roseburg territory for a first down out to the 48, flipping the side of the field. The run will be good for 4 yards for Krebs. He's got 2 carries for 10. And the clock down to 26 seconds to go. I'd imagine that Churchill is willing to let this one run down here. Roseburg was still a lot of their starters out there on the field here in the late going to this one. And Churchill's going to back up, and they're going to let this clock wind down. 10 seconds left to go in the ball game. Churchill's going to improve to 2-1 on the year and 2-0 in league play. And Roseburg's going to go to 1-1 on the season and 0-1 in league play. Final score here tonight, 30-6. It is Churchill that comes to Roseburg. First time these two teams have met since 1987, and it's Churchill that gets the victory here tonight. Teams will shake hands at midfield, and we will come back with the postgame show. We'll recap this one for you tonight, take a look at some individual stats, and hear from head coach Matt Watson in the postgame interview. Don't go anywhere, folks. Roseburg football, we will wrap this one up for you tonight after this timeout here on 541radio.com and on the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
Successful companies have a very important secret. Good advertising works and makes them money. That's why your business should contact Lotus Media Group. Let us help you cash in with multimedia advertising. Multiple touches from Douglas County's only Google certified partner and most effective advertising platform. Web, broadcast, print. Make it happen. LotusMediaGroupLLC.com.
Do I have enough money put away to retire?
Plan for your future with confidence. At Palm Wealth Management, we'll help you see a clear path to financial peace of mind. Call Palm Wealth Management today.
In today's big box store, how-to YouTube video world, it is hard to do it yourself. If you're fixing your fence or putting in a new one, the only place to start is Quality Fence. We stock almost anything you need and take the time to show you how to really do it yourself. Visit the Quality Fence showroom in Roseburg and get great fencing ideas at QualityFenceCo.com.
Quality Fences, doing it right for you.
Looking for more local sports coverage? CBS Sports Radio 1490 The Score has you covered. Check out our homepage at 541radio.com for sports stories, scores, and podcasts. And follow us on social media. 1490 The Score is on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. And take the station with you wherever you go with the 541 Radio app. Download the app in your smartphone's app store and get access to a live stream of the station, sports stories, podcasts, and easy messaging with the station and other.
Successful companies have a very important secret. Good advertising works and makes them money. That's why your business should contact Lotus Media Group. Let us help you cash in with multimedia advertising. Multiple touches from Douglas County's only Google certified partner and most effective advertising platform. Web, broadcast, print. Make it happen. LotusMediaGroupLLC.com.
Do I have enough money put away to retire?
Plan for your future with confidence. At Palm Wealth Management, we'll help you see a clear path to financial peace of mind. Call Palm Wealth Management today.
Final score here tonight is 30-6. Churchill with the win. Roseburg takes their first loss of the season, and we'll look to get back to the drawing board. We'll get a chance to hear from head coach Matt Watson after this one, find out kind of his thoughts on maybe just kind of what Churchill was doing to disrupt the Roseburg offense here tonight after putting up 40 points a week ago. Find out exactly what he saw wasn't quite working for Roseburg and how he plans to get back to the drawing board here this week, and just kind of what he thought about his team's performance here this evening. He's out there with some seniors doing a usual kind of post-practice, usual post-game kind of celebration of providing some love for the seniors on this team as they wrap up their high school careers. Only second game of the season, but they're making sure that every moment is a special one here tonight. Getting a chance to catch up with Coach here. And Knight Ureski will track him down, and it looks like we're going to get that moment for you here. We'll also have a look at individual statistics from this one and recap the scoring real quick for you here. Coach Watson's got a lot of people to talk to post-game, it looks like. Here we go. Knight Ureski down on the field. Let's send it down to Knight.
Coach, obviously you guys didn't get the win today, but it felt like a lot of the guys had their heads held high at the end. What were you telling them in that post-game speech?
Just let them know that this is, what are we going to do next? Sometimes you get punched in the mouth. Football, life, school, it happens. We get punched in the mouth. It's okay to get knocked down. It's not okay to stay down. And so I asked them, I said, what are we willing to do over the weekend? What are we willing to do on Monday to get back on track and to respond? And that's really what we got to do. And we got to respond, This week, first of all, just a huge thank you to the servicemen that came out to practice and got a chance to talk to our boys about toughness and about resiliency. And those lessons are easy to talk about when you're winning, but it means more after a loss. And now we can really, we really got to sink our claws into that and decide as a team, how are we going to respond to this? It's week 2. That's a good football team. That's a strong football team. They knew exactly what they wanted to do. I felt like we knew what they wanted to do, and they just. It's hard to win games when you only score 6 points. So our offense has got to get back on track.
You mentioned that your offense only scored 6 points. What challenges did they create defensively that really resulted in that here tonight?
Well, they gave us a front that our boys, it was the first time that we got a chance to see it. And so that's on me as a coach, not getting our guys better prepared for a front that they hadn't seen yet. But no, they came up. They played the option well. We had some mistakes at the beginning. We had some mistakes in the middle, and then we had some mistakes at the end. And so it's difficult to win when we do that. So we got to clean up those mistakes, study tape, and get hungry and get ready to get back after it on Monday. I mean, good grief. We never felt like the support has left us. We could hear the crowd. We could feel the energy. I felt like the energy was always there. And it's not easy to keep plugging along, but I felt like our guys did. Yeah, they got tired, but Luther on special teams coming back and getting us the ball back down in here near the red zone. That's an example of not giving up, and we've got a lot of fight in us, and so we're going to get back after it. Don't count us out. That's we're at a crossroads. We got to make a decision as to how we're going to respond.
If you said that you felt like you guys knew where they were going a lot of the times, and it felt like you guys got players in the right areas. You just weren't able to execute some of those tackles at times. Savell Posse had a big game. What challenges did he create for you guys defensively, and how was he able to bounce off some tackles?
Well, last year, he got all conference honors. He's a good running back, and this offense is built. I told you, right? I have some experience with it, and so this offense says, let's get in a phone booth and let's fight. And they really just, plug away, and then big hole, they're able to run away. And so all the credit where credit is due, and Churchill played a really good game, and, we're going to get back after it and, get after our reads and get after our discipline. And as coaches, we got to look at ourselves and say, how can we better prepare? How can I better prepare us for Crater next week?
In any game, no matter a win, no matter a loss, you can take away some positives. What are some positives that you can take away from this one?
Well, I mean, just some physical toughness. There's big play capability that we just got to start stringing those plays together, and being able to ride the highs and maintain that level of play no matter what the score is. Always having the belief, always having the trust in each other. And I feel like that's a highlight of our team. And nobody gave up on anybody. And we everybody felt like they were still in it. I felt like they were involved in the game. They were engaged. And so, I feel like we got the team part of it down pretty well. We just we got to score more points.
Caden Austin, it felt like he was really dynamic with the ball in his hand. How were you able to get him in space and really explode some plays offensively?
Well, I mean, I have some incredible assistant coaches that are letting me know what they're seeing. We've got guys on different responsibilities, and so we're looking for different ways that we can get our playmakers the ball. And Austin's definitely a kid that we want to get the ball in a myriad of ways because he is so dynamic. He can hurt you catching the ball. He can hurt you running the ball. And he's a pretty good blocker, too. So, we want to get him and Burwell and Urogwin and Simpson and Kimball and Dane and Noah and Stedman and Luther. Do you want the roster? We want to get the guys the ball in their hands, and they're capable of being so dangerous. We just have to eliminate the mistakes and get back to discipline.
Lastly, first league game here today. What did you learn about the league after just one game?
Well, everybody's tough. Everybody is tough. We've always told the kids that if you want something, you're going to have to go and get it because nothing is ever going to be handed to you. Football, life, school, relationships, nothing's ever just going to be handed to you. Anything worth having is going to be a fight for it. And so, we knew we were in for a fight, and Churchill definitely gave us that fight for sure.
Awesome. Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
That is Coach Matt Watson with Knight Ureski down on the field as we wrap things up here tonight from Finlay Field. Let's go ahead and take our final break. We'll come back with some stats, and we will wrap things up as Knight makes his way back up here to the booth. We'll get some final thoughts, and we'll get you on your way here this Friday night. Final score 30-6. Churchill, the winner, on top of Roseburg this evening. We'll come back after a timeout here on 541radio.com and on the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
Brook Communications radio stations have joined forces with the News Review and Lotus Web Services, announcing the Lotus Media Group, a multimedia enterprise. Web, broadcast, print. Make it happen with Lotus Media Group, LLC.com.
Whether it's across town or across the state, moving is always a chore. So let BTB Moving help with your next move. BTB Moving is a labor-only company offering statewide services such as packing and unpacking, loading and unloading, piano moving, cleaning services, and 24-hour emergency services. BTB Moving is an affordable, veteran-owned company here to help with your next move. Call 541-315-0122 or find BTB Moving on Facebook. That's BTB Moving for all your moving needs.
Are you an enthusiastic sports fan? Want to have fun and get in on the action?
Heck yes, that'd be awesome.
Have great attention to detail? Want to stay active?
Definitely.
Want to give back to the student athletes in your community?
Obviously, yes.
Then you'd make an excellent high school sports official. We need more officials in Oregon, because with no high school officials, there are no high school sports. Sign up today at highschoolofficials.com.
Quality Fences, doing it right for you. Just ask your neighbor.
Back here to wrap things up on our post-game show. We'll take a look at our BTB Moving scoreboard update for you, taking a look at some local games here in just a second. Providing labor services for your moving needs, veteran-owned, affordable, dependable, efficient, and careful. Senior and veteran discounts are available. Book now at 541-315-0122 or find them on Facebook at BTB Moving. Taking a look at some individual numbers from this one for Churchill. They only completed 4 passes out of 10 attempts for 133 yards. But still not a bad night there. A couple of big plays for Lucas Ganson. Most of the damage done on the ground. I've got Seville Posse for 177 yards on the ground. I believe he finished with 3 touchdowns here tonight. 1, 2 touchdowns on the ground. Guess that would probably make sense. Let's see here. Seville Posse. Finn had a touchdown run to start out the third quarter. Had a touchdown run to start out the fourth quarter, and he did have a second one in the fourth quarter. So he finished with 3 rushing touchdowns, 1 of 11, 1 of 5, 1 of 24. The touchdown in the first half for Churchill was a 6-yard run by T.J. Wright out of the Wildcat. 8-6 our score at halftime as Churchill would convert the 2-point conversion. Roseburg scored their only touchdown. That came in that second quarter after a lengthy drive. They would finish on a touchdown pass to McLean Stedman. His first grab of the season goes for a score, 16 yards out. They tried the 2-point conversion, but they could not get it, and they come up short there. So 3 touchdown runs for Seville Posse, 177 yards tonight. Big night for him. A lot of running on the ground. We knew that Churchill coming into the matchup averaging 289 yards on the ground, and they lived up to every bit of that here tonight. For Roseburg, kind of some of the numbers for us here, 63 yards through the air for Corey Kimball. Not his sharpest night here tonight, but did get the 1 touchdown in there, the only score. Roseburg on the ground, not a lot of yardage. Caden Austin, 34 yards, looking like he led the way. 20 yards on the ground for Uruguayan. And Kimball finished with 12 yards, and Burwell with 15. Leading receiver with 2 catches for 29 yards, Caden Austin. So that is a look at some of the offensive numbers here tonight as we finish out this evening's game for the Roseburg Indians. Taking a look at some of our BTB out-of-town scoreboard updates here. Oakland getting a 36-0 win. Former Roseburg Indian Andy McCurdy had 2 touchdown catches in that game for Oakland against West McEwen, the number 1 ranked Oakers, winning and blanking the number 4 team in the 9-man level. You also had Camas Valley lost to Cross Point Christian 28-18. Elkton fell to Gilchrist 39-12, and North Douglas over Chiloquin 80-24 tonight.
Wow.
Mohawk blanking Glendale 48-0. Reedsport a 28-22 winner on top of Waldport. No, wait, sorry. These are scores from last week. That's why some of these felt familiar. I'm looking a little bit too far back in my text chain here. So those were scores from last week. My apologies there.
I'll tell you what, one store that is happening right now, and you can find it on KWVA up in Eugene, Crater and Springfield's 37-37, 5 minutes left to play in the fourth quarter. Really good game happening at Springfield High School right now in our same district.
We saw Thurston in our league getting a win tonight, 42-0 in that one. So that was one score in our area. Willamette was playing Corvallis tonight. It looked like they came back to win against Corvallis, 24-21. So big comeback win there for the Wolverines. And we'll definitely be taking a look to see how the rest of the conference played out here tonight. But Roseburg will go to 0-1 in conference play, 1-1 on the season. Churchill is now 2-1 on the year and 2-0 in conference play. Any final parting thoughts here as we wrap it up here tonight?
I think there was a lot of positives, especially in that first half. I mean, at halftime it was 8-6. It felt like it was within reach for Roseburg. It just felt like the second half started off sloppy. But I do think that at times, especially towards the end of that second half, they did a good job containing Seville Posse at times. And, I mean, he's going to get some yards. He's a dynamic running back. He might be the best running back that they face all season long. I mean, he's that good of a player. And I think that, you know, if you're Roseburg, you got to feel pretty happy with that first half. But in any situation, you can always learn from wins, you can learn from losses, and this is a big learning experience to the start of conference play.
Roseburg will look to try and put the pieces together for next week. It looks like they got another tough test as they head on the road for the first time. They'll take on the Crater Comets down in Central Point next Friday night, our first road trip for the young Knight Ureski. So we look forward to seeing how Roseburg will do on the road. Hopefully send us home with a happy feeling after getting a road victory against the Comets. So we'll check in on that one. Did you get a score update on that game by chance?
Yeah, so Springfield just held on 4th down and were able to get a 4th down turnover with Crater having the ball inside the 30-yard line.
Ooh.
So Springfield's going to have the ball under 4 minutes to play. Again, you can listen to that at KWVA up in Eugene. If you just search KWVA, go to Listen Live and go to Stream 2. They're going to have that game. Selfless plug, KWVA alum. But my buddies are calling that game right now. Crater, a good opponent. And if you want to listen ahead to next week and listen to what's happening with Crater, who's Roseburg's next opponent, you can go ahead and listen online there at KWVA.
Get a little bit of scouting done for the game next week. All right, well, that's going to do it for us here tonight from Roseburg High School as the Churchill Lancers come here and spoil the league opener for the Roseburg Indians. 30-6 your final score in this one tonight. Want to say thanks to the Churchill Lancers for making the trek down here. A well-played game, good sportsmanship on both sides. Congratulations to the Lancers on the victory. Thanks to head coach Matt Watson, athletic director Adam Blue, and the entire Roseburg football program for allowing us to have another season of Roseburg football here on The Score. We appreciate the help of Angela Keyran here on site with the video production tonight. Grady Hamilton back in the radio booth. Thanks to Knight Ureski for help with stats as well as color commentary here tonight. And as always, a thanks to the fan for tuning in for tonight's broadcast because, of course, without you, I'm just a guy sitting here talking to myself with actually a lot of help nowadays. So I really appreciate all of that. We look forward to talking to you guys next week when Roseburg heads to Crater to take on the Comets down in Central Point, our first road game of the season. Our coverage will get started at 6:40-ish. Down there in Central Point. So what you want to do is just make sure you tune in for the Friday night pregame show brought to you by Mountain Mike's at 6 o'clock. That'll take you right up to our start of our live pregame show from Crater High School starting next week. We look forward to bringing you the action. You can tune in and catch Roseburg football live video coverage online at 541radio.com, or as always, you can catch Roseburg High School football right here on Douglas County's home for sports, The Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.